Okay. A simple question. Let's see what is your thoughts. On which particular day, you feel that you have achieved everything in your IT career. Maybe I need not even worry anymore for my work. When is the day you will feel like, okay, I'm comfortable in this place. I don't want to work anymore, or I've achieved everything in life. When do you feel that?
Maybe based on the work culture which we have.
When we achieve a financial freedom.
When you achieve a financial freedom. Okay, very good. Next.
With respect to IT, it's going to be never. You have to keep
It's
learning every single
okay.
day.
Okay, with respect to IT, it's never going to be that day. Okay, perfect. Very good.
If the work culture is good, we feel comfortable and we feel like, okay, we can stay here.
Okay. Okay, good. Next.
And
I'll
Santosh,
repeat the
Vamshi
question.
here.
Yeah.
Santosh Vamshi here. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I think the day you decide, oh, I achieved everything means it's time to retire.
It's time to retire.
Especially in IT, it's constant evolving. You keep learning and, building the knowledge, helping others to whatever you achieved, the knowledge you experienced, the knowledge you gain, share with them, with your, with everyone.
Okay.
But when you say like, oh, I achieved everything, then man, better to retire or maybe change your career. Maybe you're not interested anymore, switch to some other career option.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. People who have joined now, I had a question. Like, when do you feel that you have achieved everything in life, and what day it is? Like, which day you feel like, yes, I'm done, or you can feel like no work pressure, no work tension. I'll just work for the namesake. I'm just going office for the time pass. So when do you feel the day where you're feeling that, yes, this is for me? So this is a question I asked. Come on, share your thoughts. Come on. Let's wait for
When we
some more
enjoy our
people to
work.
join. Yeah.
When we enjoy
Yes,
our
this is
work,
more of
definitely
Can I
we'll
say
be
goodbye to my
psychological
manager?
questions.
Okay.
So
Santosh, this is
whenever
more
you
of a psychological question. Once we achieve something, we like to. Once we achieve something, we achieved something. We like to achieve more on that in future. So it's keep on. We like to feel like keep on achieving more and more in life.
Okay, okay, that's human mentality. Okay, good. Next. I can see a lot of messages. When we close all the loans, I think I've achieved something. That's good to know. And some people are saying notice
When I
period. Some
become like
people are
you,
saying we resign.
then
Very
I
good.
feel like I
Next.
have achieved everything.
Okay.
So
Uh,
when
for
you're
me, when
satisfied,
I got the
you
H1B
only
and I traveled to US
Okay.
and I worked for Microsoft, I feel
Okay.
like this is the one which I have achieved in my IT career. That feels
Oh,
me a lot.
okay. So you
And,
feel like
and
now, even now, that's true. Yes, I've achieved something.
yeah, I achieved something because every IT professional career in person should want to get H1B and should have to work in the Microsoft at least for 1 year minimum.
Okay.
But I traveled and I worked for Microsoft, so that was my achievement, the greatest achievement in my life.
Okay. Good. Good to know that. Come on. What about others? When do you feel like the day will come where I can get rid of everything? We have 270
I
people and
think
I don't
that's
get
never
anyone
going to
answer.
come.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, once we got the fully knowledge on this subject, so we can do it, we can manage anything right in a project, right? So that time we can feel like in a complete satisfaction.
Okay. Okay.
you are talking about only work, just
So if work life is relief, right? So we can do anything. Work life is a main for us.
The day we get proper sleep.
Okay. The day you get proper sleep. So you're not sleeping properly all these days.
Not fully 8 hours.
Okay. Not fully 8 hours. Okay.
Yeah, I have an
Okay.
On a
answer.
jovial note, if you have a good manager, you make your
Okay.
life good, right?
But again, having a good manager is
Help
not
you
permanent, right?
sleep.
Either he will resign or you will resign. So that is also not the solution, right? Okay. Now,
When we
thanks for
stop
sharing all
sleeping,
this. Yeah, thanks for sharing all this. I'll tell you, when do I feel, yes, this is the what I wanted, or maybe I feel like I have achieved something in life and I can get rid of anything, right? This is what is my thoughts. Maybe I may be wrong, or it could be different thoughts from you. In India, right? 90% of all the companies are paying the salary on the last day of the month, right? It could be January 31st, February 28th, March 31st, April 30th. So that's how company pays the salary. Now, I would feel, okay, this is, I've achieved something. Yes, a lot of answers were right. Financial stability. Yes, I'm financially good. There is no need to work for me. If I close all the loans, no home loans, no EMIs. Yes, perfect, right? But the day you don't wait for the salary day is the day you have done something in your IT career, right? Everyone, we wait for that salary day. Yes, we have 3 days for salary. We have 2 days for salary. We have 4 days for salary. The day you forget that it's a salary day is what? Something which I want everyone to think of it. So today is a salary day, right? Last day of the month, it's a salary day. Most of the companies will pay on the last day. If you have forgotten that today is a salary day, that is what is called financial stability. Do you all agree? Your financial stability comes the day you forget your salary day. Yes? Do you agree? What happened? Everyone is on mute.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yes, Santosh.
Yeah. So in order to get that financial stability, you only need a great career. And that great career is in your own hands. That great career is in your own hands. Okay. I have talked to a lot of people who say that my fate, I'm not getting job. My fate, I'm not able to focus. My fate, I'm not. Every time they focus on the fate, right? They focus on fate. But let me tell you one thing. Yes, that is true. Everyone has a fate. The God has written something on our fate, and that is what will happen, right? But in this 21st century, let me tell you one thing. We have 8.5 billion people in this earth. So God will not have the power to go and write on everyone's fate. The fate, the pen is given to your hand. Now you have to go and write your own fate, right? Whether to be a successful, whether you want to achieve something, whether you want to do something, everything depends on your fate, and that is there in your hand. Okay, now with all that, let's get started. We have a good number, and let me start sharing my screen.
Sure.
And for time being, I'm going to disable all of my your mics, and let's meet after the session. We'll meet after for the question and answers. So one request from my end is, if you have doubts, take a paper, pen, write it down, and we'll discuss in the end. Okay, so just a 2 minutes of recap that what we have learned so far in the yesterday's session. In the yesterday's session, the day one. Yeah, so we took a use case. We are going to solve an Uber use case. Uber, we all know that it's a ride sharing company. Everyone would have traveled at least once in your Ola, Uber, Rapido. So we are going to take one example, and that example we are going to take as a Uber. And I have also told you how business works, how companies work, right? So whenever you are going for a company, let's say you join TCS, who is going to give the project to TCS? And that experiment we did it, and for that I've explained how your TCS and Uber just joins their hands. Like, one is a product based company, and the product based company, they need services. What type of services they need? They need services like maybe a data engineering or a data science or a web development, app development they need. And particularly we are focusing on data driven technologies, right? We are mainly focusing on data engineers, data analysts, and data scientists. These people are the core people, right? For every company, there will be a core people, right? Like CEO, CFO, or by directors. These are the core people, and this core people are running the show. Similarly, for every project, there is a core people, and the core people are data engineers, data scientists, and data engineers. And here what we will do is, we have seen how the company works, right? How the companies are generating revenue, all of this we have seen. And post that, we have found out that all set, client is ready, we are ready, team is ready, requirement is ready, and now we have to start. Now we started deciding about what tool we can use. So when I say tool, yes, we started with a Power BI, but Power BI has a lot of limitations in terms of handling everything. I cannot use it as a database. I cannot use it as a complete processing layer. Maybe I can say that Power BI is best in analytics. You can do analysis, you can do charts, you can do visualizations, you can do some calculations, but not the all. So I have to find out what better can switch, what tools I can switch on and I can use it. And for that, we have seen how the generation was 2001 to 2010, how the things were. And from 2010 to 2020, what we have seen, of course, in between I told you that we moved to cloud, right? Everything I cannot store in my personal laptop. Today I'm again going to demonstrate one use case where how the data is going to be put from on-prem to cloud, right? That we are going to demonstrate today. That is another use case where I will still say that cloud is the best, right? You may not remember KSR, you may not remember Santosh, but you may not remember this event. But one thing remember, in the next 5 years, if you're not aware of cloud services, you will not be the right fit in IT. Okay, straightforward. If you don't have the cloud computation or the cloud services on your resume is just a piece of paper. That's it, right? So try to remember that and try to focus. You still have time to master cloud service. Now with that, we move on to cloud. So the good example which I've given you is, rather than owning a car, maybe you can go for the renting a car, and no maintenance, no fueling, no cleaning, no insurance, and in fact, the more importantly, no tension. That is what is important, right? No tension. There is someone who's taking care of you. There is someone who's taking care of all of your rights. You just need to be happy, safe, sit in the car. That's what we do, right? Now with all that, we move to Azure services. But Azure services is a cloud service which provides you everything, but I don't need everything. I'm focusing only on maybe a data driven or a data platform works. And that is why we are having a selected services, right? We want a selected services to do our work. And for this, as an alternative, we are going to work with Fabric, right? So with all this introduction, I gave an example how your Azure and Fabric is related. In terms of your Azure is like a fully equipped restaurant. You have everything, right? You get everything. But in this, let's say we have only the desserts part, and that desserts part they have taken out and they have created another kitchen. Now remember one thing, for this kitchen, the things are coming from the main kitchen only. The things are coming from the big restaurant only. That means both are brothers and sisters, or I can call it as elder brother and younger brother. What is happening? One is sponsoring the other one. So here, if you're all thinking where Fabric is used, what is the backend of the Fabric? In the backend, even though you can do a data engineering or a data science or data analytics, the backend is always going to be still the Azure. So don't think that this is a separate cloud, right? Both are Microsoft family. Azure is also Microsoft, your Fabric is also Microsoft, and Fabric is a subset of Azure. Whatever you use in Fabric, all are coming from Azure only, right? Now with all that, let's see what we are going to see today, right? And today we'll be focusing on mainly on Fabric, right? Is it really needed to use Fabric? We'll wait and watch today. And today I'll be showing a Fabric account, like how you can log in. I'll again tell the problem what I am facing in Azure services and what is something which is good when I go and use a Fabric. I'll be explaining that, and we'll compare What are the, if I was doing a Uber project, if I would have done in Azure, what are the services I would have used in Azure? And alternatively, what are the services I can use in Fabric? We'll say, of course, our project will be on Fabric, but still the comparison, it is very much needed. And at last, we'll see, we can set the foundation for tomorrow. For tomorrow, we are going to do the project, but for that, we have to set the stage. So possibly we will do that. So this is a plan, right? And now your accounts will be given tomorrow, right? Your accounts, our team is working in the back end. So generating 500 accounts in 2 days, it's difficult for us, right? But still we are working hard and we will generate you the account because we got your details on the day of the workshop started. That is where we got who are attending, who are like, what's your name, where are you from? So we are getting all your details. So it takes time for us to create. So tomorrow your accounts will be ready, right? Tomorrow your accounts will be ready. In the last event, there was one lesson that we learned, and that's why we have implemented this today. Okay. Last time what happened? We also gave Power BI license last year, 2023, when we take this type of events, we gave a Power BI license to everyone. First day only we gave. Yeah, we are the team who's giving all these accounts. And first day, first 5 minutes, we gave the account. And the start of the class, there were 400 people. And when I completed the event, there were 4 people. And all 4 people from KSR. So that is why we changed the strategy this time. Once you get the account, people don't join. So that's why we have this time playing bit smart. We will complete the syllabus first. We'll complete this workshop, 10 hours of workshop. And the final day, we will discuss about the account. Okay. So that's a strategy. Now, imagine I have to build a project now, right? I have to build a project. So let's see, how can I build the project now? As we know that we have a Power BI desktop. So people who are seeing this, the tool for the first time, this is Power BI desktop, which is a software where you can connect to n number of data sources and you can do the reporting. Okay, this is a tool. Just 2 minutes understanding about Power BI is go here, get a data, take any data, I'm loading the data here, right? I'm loading the data here, data loaded. And you will see here, just 2 minutes for the people who are seeing this for the first time. Maybe I assume that a lot of freshers in the team. So I have to explain this for 2-3 minutes. People who know it, please bear with me. So imagine I've got a data here and this data I have got here and this is the data now, right? Now, what I will be doing, I will be going to this report and I can simply select a chart. I can simply select a chart. I have to expand this. All these are the columns of this particular data set. You simply go and drag. You simply go and drop. Right? That's all. That's all is a reporting here. But what type of visuals I should use, what type of calculations I need to do, that is where a data analyst comes into picture. Okay. Now I'll go here. I'll take a copy. Maybe I can take a pie chart. Maybe instead of category, maybe I can take a region. Let me take another one. Let me take a line chart. Let me take a trend. I'll take a order date. I want to check every single year or maybe every single month how the sales has been. So this is with respect to month. And let's say I want to see the sales. This is a trend. Now this is how from the data set we have to do the reporting. So I have to figure out, right, how we are improving. Month on month, how we are generating the revenue, quarter on quarter, how we are generating the revenue, with respect to south region, how much sales we have made, with respect to east, how much we have made, with respect to south, east, west, north, south, how much we have made. Now that is where our reporting comes into picture, right? Now this is Power BI where we are going to do our reporting. I cannot explain this in 3-4 minutes. It's a 3 to 4 months of complete course. But for the people who are listening for the first time, this is a tool where you can do all the visuals with like a drag and drop. We are in the 21st century where we don't have patience, right? Humans does not have patience. Everything they want immediately, right? Even business, they want this report immediately. Mahesh tells me that in the last 2 years, I want to see how many people have got placed. and you know the time given to me, he will give me 1 hour. In 1 hour, he needs this information. Where can I go and get in 1 hour? I have to use this reporting tool, which makes my work easier, right? Now, whatever the project which you are going to do, the Uber project, let's assume that we are going to do in this Power BI. But where will I get the data? Where will I get the data? Okay, let's see where will I get the data. First thing what I'll do is I will go to get data, and you can see these are the common data sources. So I'll go to more. I'll go to more, and you can see that you can get almost data from 100 sources. What are the 100 sources? Excel, CSV, JSON, database, and if you keep on coming here, you can get it from Snowflake, you can get it from Amazon, you can get it from data flows, and you can get it from Azure also, and you can get it from Salesforce, you can get it from GitHub, you can get it from Adobe Analytics, and if you come down, you can get it from Hadoop, Spark, you can connect some SharePoints, you can connect from the web, you can get the data from web also. In web, if you have any data that has been given a free authentication, maybe you can use that also. And coming down, you can see a lot of connectors, and there are a lot of things which are in the beta state. When I say beta state, they're like working in progress. And if you see here, Informatica, you can get it, Google Sheets, you can get it. Now all these are the sources where I can get the data from, and that is why even now I'm saying one of the best business intelligence tool is Power BI, because it supports a lot of source where you can pull the data. Right now, imagine I will get the data from my personal machine. I'll get the data from my personal machine. Imagine I have a data set. Now imagine I have a data set. This is a data set that I use for all our practice purpose. Now where I have stored this? This I have stored in my machine, local machine, right? So all this, imagine it's a business data. All this, imagine it's a business data. In case if business is sharing the data in the form of all these files, where you will store? You will store here. But if you see here, the size of this is 4.7 GB. The size of this folder is 4.7 GB. Now a simple question, touch wood, it should not happen. Simple question, if something happens to my laptop right away now, system crash, blue screen, or just like that my laptop fell down now, or if there is anything, the laptop is corrupted, what happens to this 4.7 GB? It's gone. It's gone. Okay, it's gone. Then I have to run behind the IT people, then I have to run behind the service center, and then I need to tell boss, can you please recover this data? I have to run behind them for recovering this 4.17 GB of data, right? And imagine this, maybe I've used for all the classes, but imagine that these are all my KSR data now. I cannot show you open the KSR data, but imagine every single file you see on the screen, imagine that it's a KSR data, and something happens to this KSR data, they'll throw me out. KSR team will throw me out, and they'll also put behind bars. Reason? Data is gone. All the 7 years of hard work, what KSR has done is it's gone. Now what I should do? I should have had a backup. So can I buy another laptop? Every time I'll buy 2 to 3 laptops and keep on storing the data in every time, so that even if one laptop goes, I can use another laptop. Can I do that? No. Can I do that? No. So what is the solution? What is the solution? Rather than storing this data in my on-prem, let me go and store it in the cloud. Let me go and store it in the cloud. So how do I store the data in the cloud? Very simple. Go to your browser. Go to your browser. Okay. And now all of this data, nowhere I'm storing in my machine. If I store in machine only, I'll get that problem. Computer may be like damaged. Computer may go blue screen. Something can happen to my laptop, right? I don't have control. And electronic devices, there is always no guarantee. Now, the same data folder, which I have 4.1 GB of data, you know what I'm going to do now? You know what I'm going to do now? I log into cloud. I log into a cloud. Now this is a cloud, right? This is a cloud. The way I will log into the web is portal.azure.com, right? And this is a cloud now. Azure is a cloud. So I log in here, everything I'll work with a website only. Now this is a website data. Now I'll go here. I'll log into a Azure website. Now what I'll do? Just imagine that I open one account right? And imagine I will create one container. Let's say that I'll say data sets, which I use for practice purpose. And imagine I've created one container and this is the data sets. Now I'll go and upload some files here. So what are the files? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of this I am uploading here, right? Now if you see, every single data which I've selected is actually been uploaded here and it is present in the cloud. Now, the same data which I was shown you in the on-prem data folder, now it is present in the cloud, right? Now, if you see here, this is my account. This is my account. In this account, I have created one container and I've stored. Now, this is a URL. Now, wherever I go, whichever system I log in, if I can log in back to the same machine, same account, right? Same account, I can go and access this data. Now that's the power of cloud. Tomorrow I may be there, I may not be there. 5 years down the line, I don't know where I'll be there, right? But data will be there. Data will be there. That's the beauty of cloud, because everything is working on web. What I had stored initially on the desktop or my computer, if something happens to my laptop, it's gone. Today, let something happens to my laptop, no need to worry. I'll buy a new laptop, or I may even go to a cyber center. I can just log into this azure.portal.com and I can log in with my credentials, and automatically I'll be able to see all this data. Unless and until I go and delete this data is going to be there forever. No one ever is going to be staying with you, but your data will stay. That's the beauty of cloud, right? People say that, right? All are temporary people, no one will stay with us. But data is permanent with you, provided you properly use a subscription. If you don't pay the bill and all, they will also delete this account. But if you maintain properly, this account, this data set will be there with you forever. Okay, now imagine we have this type of storage accounts. Now, as I said, let's go to the Azure service once again. Let's go to the Azure service once again. So portal.azure.com is the URL. Once you go here, there is a separate sessions that I've taken for Azure, like how to create a subscription, how much billing you have to pay and all that we will see somewhere when we meet the next time. But today, what I'll show you is, if I want to create any group, like any of the databases, like let's say this is a database. Okay, and let's say this is storage. I can store it. I can store files, documents, pictures, images, PDFs, resumes, everything I can use it here, right? So like this, I have different storages. I have different databases. I can create a SQL database. I can create a Postgres database, Oracle database, MySQL database, any database which you want, you can go and have it here. Today, what I have done is, if I want to use a database, this is my database. This is my database. But where this database is installed, this database is actually installed in my machine. If something happens to my machine, this database is also gone. This database is also gone. But if I want the database to be there forever, I have to create in the cloud. Now this is the cloud. Okay. Now with that, let's see. We can build a architecture of our project now. Okay, so we can build a architecture of the project. Let's build the architecture. How to build the architecture? Let's see. So I'll just use a simple drawing. Okay, so let me go and write. So this is the architecture of the project. Okay, this is the architecture of the project. So what I need is, first of all, for this for this architecture of the project, I cannot bring the data to my Power BI. I cannot bring the data to my Power BI from local machine, right? My local data I cannot bring. That is ruled out. If you are thinking that I will get the data from my Santosh D drive and D folder, it will not work. In the real time, we will not store any data in the local machines. So that means today we are going to work on Uber project. For Uber project, where will I get the data? Do you think my data will be present in my laptop? We are actually 15 employees working for Uber. Do you think all 15 members will have the data set in a personal machine? Definitely no. So storing the data in the on-prem is ruled out, right? Now, in that case, we are going and using Azure. We are going and using Azure. So for Azure, first I'll draw a diagram. This is an Azure service for us. This is a Azure service for us. Okay. Now, in Azure, there are different services. I told you, right? We have so many services inside storage only. Inside storage only, you can have a NetApp files, data box. It's like a OneDrive, and you have like backup. You can store it as a backup. You can have a simple storage account. All of this we have. So what I will do is, for the project, imagine that I will have storages in block storage. There is a storage called block storage. Okay. And there is a storage called ADLS. All these are storages. Okay. When you get into the deep concepts of your Azure, you will get it. At this point of time, just remember it's a type of a storage. If I want to give an example, this block storage, remember like your pen drive. This block storage, remember like your memory card. And this ADLS, remember like your pen drive. What is the difference between a memory card and a pen drive? Both are used to store your files. Just imagine these two storages. Let's not go into deep of what is this block, what is this ADLS. Just think that it is a like your memory card and like your pen drive, right? Like your memory card and pen drive means it's obviously going to be a storage for us, right? Now, also I will have another service. Here I'll be working with Azure SQL database. Now imagine this is like your phone. Imagine this is like your phone. Now what is this phone? In phone also you can store 64 GB or 128 GB of your data, right? But the difference between a pen drive and a phone is, in your pen drive you can only use your pen drive if you connect to a CPU or if you connect to a laptop. If you simply drop a pen drive on a table and if I want to see the photos, images, audio files are deleted, it is not possible. Unless and until you connect that storage to an external device, you will not be able to use that files. That is what happens when it is stored in a pen drive or a memory card. But here it is a phone. Why it is phone? Because you can also store the data. You can also process it. You can see, you can write the code, you can write the query, you can write the analysis, you can do everything. Now, this layer is actually storage. This layer is actually storage. You can store the data. You can store the data, right? Now, what I told you, I will not get the data from here, right? I will not get the data from here. It is not required to get the data from your local machine, but I can get the data from these three storages, because these three are the storages which is there in the cloud. So already a lot of companies have started moving the data to the cloud. Now let's assume that the data is present in the cloud. Now what I can do, I can go to the Power BI, get data, go to more. Don't get it from your Excel. Don't get it from your CSV. Don't get it from on-prem. Please get it from the cloud. What is the cloud for us? We have Azure. In Azure, you can get it from Azure SQL database. You can get it from Azure SQL database. You can get it from Azure Data Lake Storage. This is what it is. ADLS. ADLS stands for Azure Data Lake Storage. You can get the data from Azure Data Lake Storage, or you can go with the Azure Block Storage. This is Azure Block Storage. Now, all of this are actually an alternative way to get the data which is in the cloud. right? No more on-prem. Everything we are going to get from the cloud. Now, okay, but the problem is all these are data sets. But if I want to go and see the data, I'll go and click this. If I go and click edit, it is like this. It is like this. Because the example which I've given is, this is the simple pen drive storage. Unless and until you connect your pen drive to any processing unit, you will not be able to see this data. You will not be able to process it, right? You will not be able to process it. So you take any data, it will not be possible directly to go and query it. It is a file. I'll not be able to do anything. It's just a file. It's just a file. I cannot do anything, right? So if you are storing some data in your pen drive and you don't connect this pen drive to system, that data will be there forever without using. It is an unused data. You cannot delete it, you cannot update it, you cannot insert it, you cannot do anything. It's simply a storage. So the disadvantage of this type of files is storages. You can store the data only, but you cannot process it. You cannot process it. Now, in order to process the data, we need two more services. We need two more services. What are the two services? I'll take as an example. This is one and this is one. Okay. Now at this point of time, or maybe I'll say I'll take one at this point of time. I'll take only one. Imagine we have this. Okay. And this is Azure Data Factory. This is Azure Data Factory. Okay, this is a service which I will use it for processing. Because whatever the data they are giving us, they are actually storing here. But I don't know whether this data is clean or not. One of the biggest challenge that every organization is getting in the recent times is unclean data. They'll not at all clean the data. They'll simply dump the data. And who has to clean? It is the data engineers who has to clean. Now, how can I go and process this data, right? I need a processing layer for that. So for that, what I've done, I will take one processing service. I'll take one processing service. Now, in this processing service, I would say that Azure Data Factory I can use. Now, from this, let's connect to our Power BI. This is our Power BI. We already connected block to Power BI. We have a connection here. See here, from block to Power BI, we can connect it, or from data lake storage also you have connection. So that means already this type of connections are there. You can connect directly from block to Power BI, or you can directly connect from this one, or you also have a SQL database, Azure SQL database. So you can also connect from Azure SQL database to Power. That means whatever the source I've taken, blog or the data lake storage or the SQL server, the data is present in the cloud. Cloud is safe for me. From cloud, I'm pulling the data to Power BI and then I'm doing reporting. As of now, this is good. But the data which I'm going to get is not clean actually. So what I should do? It is not clean. So let me make it clean. How to make it clean? You connect to a system which can clean the data. So either like a block storage or the ADLS or the SQL database, you connect to this processing layer. So that means you're connecting your pen drive to your laptop. Your laptop is nothing but your Azure Data Factory. Now here I can clean the data. Now once I clean the data, I will see if after cleaning the data, let me go and put it in the Power BI for reporting. After doing the data cleaning, now the data is clean. The data which is coming out of Azure Data Factory is a cleaned data. Now this clean data, I will go and report it in Power BI. So far, so good. Now, let's go and get the data from Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is not there. Azure HT Insight, Azure Explorer, Azure Cosmos, Table, Cosmos, Databricks, Analytics. I don't see Azure Data Factory. At this point of time, you need to ask me a question. You're saying Power BI is the best intelligence tool. you don't have a connection for Azure Data Factory? Right? This is a question you need to ask me. For all the other things you had, maybe the data is present in blog, ADL, or so this, you directly connected to Power BI, possibility was there. But now you are getting the cleaned data from Azure Data Factory. Now this Azure Data Factory, how can I go and get this data connected? So I don't have an option, right? This connection does not exist. This connection does not exist. And this is a proof. I'm showing you we don't have Azure Data Factory as a source to your Power BI. Then you may be wondering, then how to connect to your Power BI? So what we are going to do some changes is, why should I connect the clean data directly here? I will again put it back into another storage layer. This is an option that I have now. I will use another storage layer. Right? And imagine the data is coming from one place, from block storage. From block storage, I am processing the data. And after processing, I will not directly connect from Azure Data Factory to Power BI because there is no connection. There is no connection between Azure Data Factory to Power BI, and I'm telling as of today only, because in future if they come and say that, oh, I will also allow a connection, then it's fine. But Power BI, we don't know what is going to happen next month also, we don't know. At this point of time, until 2024 November month, we don't have a connection which directly connects from Azure Data Factory to your Power BI. So what is my plan is, after cleaning the data, why don't you store it somewhere? And from there, you can connect to your Power BI. Because already we know that ADLS is actually a source to Power BI. From ADLS, you can get the data to your Power BI, right? I can do this. So this is what I thought. Why can't I connect from block to Azure Data Factory, do the data cleaning in the Azure Data Factory, and then store it in the one more storage, and from the one more storage I'll connect to your Power BI. The reason why I'm putting a lot of efforts to explain you Azure Data Factory, whether you're a data engineer, whether you're a data scientist or you're a data analyst, one of the service which you can never ever forget will be Azure Data Factory, because it is going to be very handy throughout your projects. It is very handy because it acts like a ETL tool for us. Right? Now, what is this Azure Data Factory? What you can do with this Azure Data Factory? As of now, I know, okay, I can clean the data. So we all know that. What is the purpose of this? At this point of time, we are assuming that we can clean the data. We can transform the data. Right? We can organize the data. All this we can do, etc., etc., etc. I'll mention. Okay. So now this is the work of your Azure Data Factory. But let's try to understand what exactly is Azure Data Factory, because this is a service which is very important. And if you understand this here, it is very easy to implement in Fabric. What we are learning in Azure, it is very easy to implement in Fabric. Just before I start, let me also tell you, imagine this is a Azure Data Factory. In order to use a Azure Data Factory in Azure, what I should do is, first I need to go and create it. Azure Data Factory. So this is Azure Data Factory. I'll have to go create this. So it creates as that it inject the data and it integrates from several systems, all of this. Now I'll go and create it. And for time being, I'll take any resource and I'll give some name, and I have to go and fill the form. 5 forms I have to fill, because it's a cloud, right? In order to get this service on my name, I have to create this. For that, I need to fill a form. So that is what I'm filling. Next. And then I am creating. Now I'm creating a Azure Data Factory, and the request goes to the Microsoft saying that Santosh from KSR is actually requesting Azure Data Factory for your project. So why don't you create it? So that is why it is happening in the backend. In the backend, they are deploying a Azure Data Factory for me. Why I need Azure Data Factory? For data cleaning now. For data cleaning now. I have to move the data. I have to transform the data. All of this I need to do, right? Now, this is Azure Data Factory. Now let me go here. Let me click this. Azure Data Factory is opening. Now here you have lot of activities to do. You have lot of activities to do. Here I can go and inject the data from one place to another place. We can make sure that data flows smoothly. We can do some data transformations. When I say data transformations, you can clean it, you can modify, you can all do whatever the transformations you need, everything you can do. Now what I will do, I will go here. I'll just simply go to a new pipeline, and you can see that there is one activity called copy activity. There's one activity called copy activity. Now what is this copy activity means? Just think over it. Data is present in my local machine. I can put it in the cloud. It's a very simple copy. It's a very simple copy, like Control C, Control V you do, right? Similarly, this activity which is on your screen, the copy activity, what it will do? What it will do? It will simply go and move the data from one place to another place. Source is your source and sink is your target. That is where you have to go and store. Maybe I have to move the data from my on-prem to cloud. Now what is this? This is called copy activity. This is copy activity. The one which is in blue color, you see all the blue icons. Okay, wherever you see it's a blue icon, right? This is Azure. This is Azure. Whatever you see as a blue color, it is Azure. So in Azure, we have the copy data activity. All these are Azure. Now, if you learn this copy activity, if you know what this copy activity can do, you can directly go to a fabric. And here also you have a data factory, right? And here also you have a pipeline, and I'll create one pipeline. This is a fabric now. I'll be explaining every component, but as of now, this is a fabric, and you can see that there is a copy data activity. See, that's all. If you'll do in Azure, you can do it here. And that is the reason I'm focusing on the Azure first. If you learn Azure, this is nothing. This is nothing, because this is a new platform. This is a new platform. Here we already have one platform, which is Azure. This is a fabric now. You can see just the color change. Here they have given you need to add the source to sync. Maybe they are calling it as sync. Maybe here I am calling as source and destination. Simple. What is there? And people are thinking Azure is different, Fabric is different. This is a right example for you to showcase that it is only the different environment. It is only the different environment. This is one environment. This is one environment where I will be doing everything here, whereas this one is one environment. The one which you see green color, it's a fabric. Right? So you can do there also, you can do here also. But if I do it in Azure, how many services I need? Service number 1, service number 2, service number 3. So 3 services I have to go through it. From storage, I need to pull it to Azure Data Factory. From Azure Data Factory, I need to pull it to SQL database or maybe another storage, and then only I have to connect to Power BI. But the beauty of Fabric will be everything you can do in this site only. That is what Fabric is known for. So if you are thinking directly to learn Fabric, you can do it. But this copy activity, all these pipelines, everything is already coming from Azure. So knowing Azure, knowing all these activities, see, it hardly took me 2 days for me to learn entire Fabric. 2 days. You know why? Because I already know Azure. So don't think like Fabric is a new technology. It's a platform. It's a platform. If you learn cooking, it's a skill. You learn cooking, it's a skill. You can cook in your house, you can cook in a relative's house, you can go and cook in your friend's house. You just need to ask where the items are. You can cook. Like if you cook here and if you go to your friend's house, if you say that I cannot cook here, then that's not a skill. right? So similarly, I know what I should do with this copy activity. Copy activity will move the data from one place to another place. Here, if you're doing in this blue color environment, this is actually called Azure. But here, I'll be doing that in Fabric. That's all. That is all is the difference. Now, what we will do, we'll get back onto the track. This is a architecture that I have to build a project. What I need to do, I need to have all the data in some storages. The storages, don't get too deep into the names. One is called block storage, one is called data lake storage, and Azure Data Factory is there. Azure Data Factory is a processing. Now, if you are thinking directly from this, I will connect to Power BI. As of now, it is not there. This connection is not there, right? Now, in order to explain this Azure Data Factory, I will show you one small example. I'll show you one small example. Let's see what is this Azure Data Factory is all about. This is a very important topic, Azure Data Factory. If I understand Azure Data Factory, your Fabric Data Factory is completely same, 100% it's same. Let's figure out what is this Azure Data Factory. Okay, now I'll split the words Azure Data Factory. I'll split 3 words. We'll try to understand what is this factory first. We'll try to understand this factory first. See, I'm telling you, this is a very important topic where you will use in all the projects. In all the 80 projects which I've done, in this 40 projects are actually cloud-based projects and 24 projects are actually Azure-based project. In all the 24 projects, I've used this service, which is Azure Data Factory. And the same thing now they have given in Fabric also. So let's try to understand this. This is a word I split it into Azure Data and Factory. Let's talk about factory. Factory, somewhere you would have heard this name. Yeah, in your olden days, your grandparents or grandmother would have just say that, yeah, I went to factory, I went for work. You know the factory. Let me take one example of factory. I'll take a garment factory. We all know garment factory, right? In the rural areas, you'll see this type of factories. Now, what is this garment factory doing? Garment factory will get raw materials. Someone will get and transport here, and this is called raw materials. Raw materials. When I say raw materials, it's a plain cloth. Anyhow, this is a garment factory. That means they'll stitch your t-shirts, pants, trousers, all this they will stitch it. Okay. So you are getting a raw material. Now this raw material, are you going to store this in factory? Not at all. Maybe it may be stored for 1 or 2 days. Immediately what will happen? It will go for cutting. It will go for cutting. They'll cut it. Now you need to understand that this Azure Data Factory is not for storage. They're not storing the raw material here. Raw material is stored somewhere in the outside and they are bringing to the Azure Data Factory. And in this Azure Data Factory, it stays for 2 or 3 days. It stays for 2 or 3 days. Then it goes for cutting. And after it goes for cutting, let's say there'll be people who are stitching. So you would have seen factory, right? Same in the movies you would have seen all the sewing machines, they would have arranged it and they will go and like work together. And it's not like your IT company, right? 8 o'clock they'll ring the bell, 1 o'clock there'll be a lunch break, only 20 minutes you can take the lunch break, uniforms will be there. You would have seen in the movies, right? Now, this is the stitching. After stitching, it goes for pressing. After stitching, it goes for pressing. After pressing, maybe this is a final product packed. This is packed. So they have packed the complete materials. Now, if I want to buy this packed products, you stand near the gate. This is a gate. This is a gate. You go and stand near the gate and you tell them that I need a shirt. Do you think they will give it? You stand near the gate and ask a security person, hey, this is a factory, right? Give me one shirt. I'll give you 200 rupees on spot. Do you think they'll give it? Definitely no. It has to go through another layer, transport layer, and then it will go to malls, shops, everywhere. There you can go and buy. There you can go and buy. Now this is a example to show you that your data factories data, you cannot access it directly. You go and stand near the gate and ask them a shirt, they will not give you. It has to go to the shops, right? It has to go to the shops. The same diagram, I was talking about a cloth, a material. Let's replace with data. That is data factory. That is all data factory. The same garment factory where the clothes are coming in vehicle and you are doing the cutting, stitching, pressing, packing, and then you're sending back to the store. The same thing is what your data factory also is going to do. Instead of cloth, replace with data. You're getting the data from someone. You are having a raw data. You're cleaning the data. You're doing the data modeling. You're doing the data transformations, and you're doing the data cleaning. And here is where the gate. And you stand near the data factory outside and you ask them, boss, can you give me the clean data for my reporting? They will not give. You have to go again, store it back into some storage. Then only you can access it. And that's an example for you. That's an example for you here. If I go and try to check where is my Azure data factory, I will not get it. I will not get it. The reason why I'll not get it, because your Azure data factory here is actually the transform layer. And if I'm trying to see that, hey, I'll get the data directly from Azure data factory to Power BI, as of now it is not possible, because your Azure data factory is a factory where it is only for transformations. You directly go near the stand near the gate and buy 200 rupees shirt, they will not give. You have to go and put it in a storage. So I will have to go and put it in the storage, any storage, and from the storage I will have to put it in the Power BI. Right? This is the right way of doing it. Now the reason why I'm explaining all this are a bit complicated for us. First you have to get the data from blog, then you have to put it in a factory, then you have to put it to another storage, and then you have to go and do it in a Power BI report, right? Now, one more example I'll give you for data factory, which you will never ever forget throughout your life, right? You may forget KSR, you may forget Santosh, you may forget 30th November 2024 date, but the topic which I'm going to tell now, the example which I'm going to tell now, you will never forget it, right? One of the best example that I can give you for your ADF is data factory is your kitchen. Everyone has a kitchen in your home. Your kitchen is one of the best example I can give it to your as an explanation. As long as you remember the word kitchen, you will remember the word ADF, Azure Data Factory, right? So don't go and call your kitchen as kitchen, call it as data factory going forward so that you will never forget. Now what happens in your kitchen? Kitchen is the place where you cook the food. But are you going to store all the vegetables, fruits, groceries, everything? Are you going to store it in the kitchen? Compared to all the other place like a living room, hall, or a bedroom, your kitchen is a bit small. It is only for cooking. So what we do, this is a kitchen. I'll try to get the things from outside. Maybe I have a fridge in the living room. Maybe I have a storeroom which is near my hall. So I have to store it. So what we do, basically, if you want to use it for that particular week, vegetables, fruits, groceries, we buy for that particular week, right? I will store it in the storeroom. I will store it in the refrigerator. Where it is outside my kitchen. All your fridge storeroom is outside your kitchen because the size of the kitchen is also small. So what I'll do, I'll get the data from this, and I'll do the cooking here. Now, your cooking is done in the kitchen. Now, after doing that cooking, are you going to eat in the kitchen itself? Definitely no. You have to get that to dining table. You have to get the dining table. In the dining table is where you will consume the food, right? This is what as a best example of Azure Data Factory. Your Azure Data Factory, which you see here, it is only for processing. It is only for processing food. You can neither store, you can neither access it. You can neither store, you can neither access it. It has to be pushed into a maybe another storage. You'll put it in the hot box, you'll put it on the plates, and then you'll consume it. Similarly, your fridge, your storeroom, whatever you have, you will never have it in the kitchen, you will have outside the kitchen. Now this is the same problem now I am facing here. Directly, if I want to use Azure Data Factory alone, it is not possible. I have to get the raw materials, raw data. Where I'm going to get the raw data? The raw data is going to come from the block storage, or it is going to come from the ADLS, another storage, and then I will process it here. After processing it here, I will have to store it in somewhere, and from somewhere I have to connect. Lot of things are happening here. Lot of things are happening here, right? Now, how many services I have to use? I have to use this, I have to use this, I have to use this, right? I have to literally use 3 to 4 services here. Now here is a complication. If you are using Azure, you have to create this. You have to create this. So what you will do, I have to go and create one block storage. I have to go and create one Azure Data Factory. This is Azure Data Factory where you can move the data, and you should also have another service which is a SQL database, or it could be another storage where I will store it and then I will process it. Now the possibility of this is, it is good. As of now, your Azure is still good. But somewhere I feel like lot of activities are involved. I need to copy the data once. Of course, from Azure Data Factory, again I have to store it back into storage, and again I have to go and do it in a Power BI. Your life is very hard, right? Your life becomes hard here. Why have to go and complicate it? It's a best solution. It's one of the best solution, but why am I using multiple services? Why am I using multiple subscriptions? And why am I using multiple things here, right? Now, here, if I go and see, for all of this Azure services, I have to pay bill. Okay, nothing comes free. This is the Azure services. The one which you see in the blue color tab, it's all fees. I have to pay. I mean, it's an Azure, and if I go to a billing, and you see that I have to pay bill, right? I have to pay bill. So maybe for the last 1 week, maybe I would have used 600 rupees. I have to bill, and maybe last month I would have paid 12,000, right? And this month I have to pay 4,000. So all these are billing now, right? Based on my usage, I have to bill it. Now again, my problem comes. How much I have used here? For that I need to pay. How much I have done the transformations, I need to pay. So cost management is the most difficult part. Even in your personal life, you don't know how are you spending. You get a salary today and you don't know how you spend it. I have never ever seen anyone being rich by earning more, but I've seen a lot of people being rich by saving more. So you need to save money here. You need to save money here. If you want to run the show, it's not about how you build, it's also about how you optimize your cost. So here is a challenge for me. I need to track my billing. I need to figure out which service I've used. For example, if I go here, I need to see for database how much I have to pay. Let me go in the calculation part, how much I have to pay. Cost management. If I go and click this, how much I have used, I can see here. See, for this storage account, how much I'm paying. Okay, for this coding, how much I've spending, or for the other services. So it will give me for database, I've spent this, maybe this one. If I go and give a detailed view, I will also get the billing details, right? Now this is a problem. Of course, cloud is giving you the flexibility, but as in then, if I really want to point out something, I have to figure out how this billing happens. From November 5th to December 4th, this is a forecasted. Like I have to pay for this 2,000 for data breaks, 2,000 for machines, maybe 400 for storages, 93 rupees for database. So all this I have to track individually. Now that's where your cloud service becomes a bit of challenge. Right? I have to move the data from multiple systems to multiple systems, then billing. Now to overcome this, we have a solution. What is that solution? Imagine this is a cloud. Which is nothing but my Azure. Now what they have done, they have added one more layer. They've added one more layer on top of this, and they're calling that as Fabric. Centralized platform for billing, centralized platform for all the service, no need multiple connections and no need multiple services. That is where your Fabric came into picture. Right? Inside the Azure group of services, whatever I need for me, they have created another platform. They have created another platform. That is how your Fabric came into existence. Right? For me, Power BI with Azure was the excellent solution. But a lot of companies have reported that I have to do multiple copies, I have to move data move from one place to another place, I have to involve a lot of things. So that is where your Fabric came into picture. Now Fabric, it become a one-stop shop. It become a one-stop shop. And in fact, Power BI, which is outside of this Azure, now it was also part of Fabric only. Inside the Fabric only you have everything. Inside the Fabric only you have Power BI. Inside the Fabric only you have storage. You have a storage. Right? Here I'll call it as a storage. Instead of calling this name, I don't want to call this name because this is a Azure service. So I'll call it as One Lake. I'll call it as One Lake. Maybe your ADF was there, right? ADF is there, right? It is Azure Data Factory, which I have, which is Azure Data Factory ADF. Here I'll call it as DF. I'll call only DF. People call it FDF, Fabric Data Factory, but still that name is not getting famous. So we'll call it as Data Factory. And this Data Factory, I will put it into Fabric now. Whatever you have, just they have internally another one, but they have calling it as a separate unified platform. Now that is what I'm saying here. This is a Azure Data Factory where I have to copy the data from source to sink. The same screen, you can see it in the Fabric. And in the Fabric, again, it is a copy data activity. Again, you have to see general, you have to fill the form, source and destination. Here also you have to fill source, destination. Everything is ditto same. So don't think that, oh, I have to learn directly Fabric. If you learn Azure, Fabric is very easy. I'm telling you, personally, I'm telling you, I have just taken 2 days to explore this. For everything is same. Only the platform is changing. Imagine this is your house. And imagine this is your neighbor's house. As simple as that. You do whatever you want here. You cook food. You can go and cook food there also if they permit, right? So obviously, I'm creating another platform. And that is how what we have done. Let's come back to our presentation. We had this much of services. Azure is an ocean. You have 200 plus services. Now all of these 200 services I don't need. I basically need main services for my project. I'm focusing only on the data platform. What is my data platform? I have to create a data pipelines. I have to create a data reporting. I have to go and do analysis. I have to do some engineering, all of this. This 5 to 6 services which you do, they have brought into another platform called Fabric. And that becomes your Fabric. This is a Fabric. The same thing we see here, Data Factory, right? One Lake, which I told you, right? It is a storage. Data pipeline. Maybe I want to move the data from one place to another place. Maybe you can use this. You can use it for the transformations. All of this can be done. And if you are asking me, in Azure, I can build a mobile application and a website application. Can I build it in Fabric? The straightforward answer is no. No, you cannot build a website or you cannot build a mobile application in Fabric, because Fabric is only known for data related one. Out of this, I can build a mobile application, I can build a web application, I can build a YouTube editing videos, I can do all of this. But all the 200 services, I cannot do it in Fabric. So in this hotel, in a desert hotel, if you go and ask me starters, you cannot get it. Your desserts is gettable in the main restaurant, but what you get in the main restaurants, all you will not get it here. It's a subset. It's a small shop, right? Now with that, we are jumping into the Fabric. Well, Fabric was launched on 23rd May. It is just 1.5 years old, but the actual birthday is being considered as November 15th. I would say just it has completed 1 year, right? 1 year. And this, they have made it public from November 15th. Last year, November 15th, there was no Fabric. And this year, November 15th, we have the Fabric. And you can see how we are upgraded, and we are already started teaching to all our students, right? We were the first institute to teach Fabric in the month of May. November it came, right? November it came, and in this year 2024 May we started exploring. But even though it was not public, we started exploring, and we were teaching our students, saying that this is a new product which is going to change the data world. And post the invention, it made public, we started as a complete projects. So if you ask me, I have implemented only 5 projects in this year. This year, the complete year, January to November, I have implemented 5 projects in Fabric. And all 5 projects, here and there we have some loopholes. So Fabric integrates like Azure Data Factory, Synapse, and Power BI into a single unified platform. Again, I'm telling you, this is a very, very new innovation. We cannot blindly go and start using it. We have to do a complete research. We have to analyze, right? When this 1 year, we have seen lot of community people getting into track, understanding what is happening inside that. What is this? What is the components? Can I replace it? All of these talks are going on. But my personal experience I can share you is, yes, it is famous. It is getting that brand. It is getting trended. But is it really going to replace it? We have to wait and watch. That's the only way, because Microsoft is working in the back end to improve, and they're trying to make it better, better. And this tool will be like a one centralized component. Whatever you see in the different products, in the different services in Azure, they brought it into one environment, and that environment, what you're seeing is Microsoft Fabric. So this becomes a one storage, and this storage, anyone can use it. People who want to build a Power BI report, directly they can use this. People who want to build some real-time data, directly they can use this. People who want to use for data cleaning, people can use it. People who are data science and data engineers, everyone can use it. You can build a warehouse, everything you can do here. There we had a different storages. Here it is a one centralized storage. It is making our work easier, right? What we have observed in the last 20 years of our life, every day things are getting easier and easier, right? The way I used to code 10 years back was different. They will not allow your cell phones, they'll not allow your smartphones, they'll not allow you to use a Google phone within your office premises. That is if you're working for a cabin, right? If you're working for some banking applications. Today we use a chat GPT for coding. Things have changed. We used to use 1100, and today we are using a smartphone. Things have changed. So there is an improvement. Microsoft Fabric becomes like a one platform. I can simply call it as all in one. All in one. You can get everything here related to data-driven technologies, right? Now, with this, we'll compare what is this Azure services and what is this Fabric components, right? So in Azure, we have a Azure Data Lakes for storage. We have Azure Data Factory for processing, and we have Azure SQL database for seeing the data. Now, same thing, it has changed to one lake. It has changed to Azure Data Factory Fabric, and it is also called Lakehouse or SQL endpoints. So it's actually changed. It's actually changed. What we had, that has been replaced with this one. But again, why this invention came is, I wanted to have a one platform. I wanted to have one separate component for my projects. And that is why your Fabric came into existence. Okay, now here, as of now, if I want to go here, and I have to use Azure subscriptions. First, I have to register, I have to create an account. Then what I need to do, I need to like add my details, maybe billing details, company details, all of this I need to add. Then I need to register, I need to get a subscription, right? And then I have to track. As I said, billing comes for every single service. Every day I need to keep a track of it, what is happening, how much bill I have to pay, everything I will be focusing here, right? Now, all of this is a bit hectic for us. So platform, they have given one platform. So where do you get the platform? You go to browser. You go to browser. This is a browser. You simply search, you simply log in app.powerbi.com, right? app.powerbi.com. I can directly open Fabric. It's actually asking login. You'll see a lot of documentations. You'll see a lot of documentations. Just go for Fabric. Just go for Fabric. There is a sign in. You can sign in here. Now this is what it shows. Okay, so this is what it showed. It's a fresh screen that you will get it. Now for logging into this, you need a credentials. You need a credentials because Fabric comes with a subscriptions that an organization will give you, and you need a subscription. So what we can do is, for this we are going to give you details. For this we are going to give you details. The details will be this one. This will be the details. You will be given, everyone will be given a username and everyone will be given a temporary password. This you can expect tomorrow end of the class, you will be getting this. Every single person who has registered and who have 80% of their attendance will be given the subscription for free, where you can go and explore, and whatever I'm going to do today and tomorrow, you can also explore after the workshop, and you can literally practice this for 2 months. Okay, you can practice this for 2 months. Now, once you have been given here, what you can do, just go and log in with the email ID. I'm just saying how to log in. Just log in here. So it is asking the password. It is asking the password. The password is also shared to you. The passwords will have some special characters and all. So just copy this and paste it here. Since I'm logging for the first time, it is asking me to update. So this is how you need to log in. This is how you need to log in. Once you get the credentials tomorrow, this is how you need to log in, right? Now, I have to give the current password, which is the same password. Then I'll give the new password. We have seen this password too many times before. Okay, you have to give some password, which is very hard. So let me. So I'm signing in with the new password. Okay, all good. You can set, you can give your phone number if required, and you can get registered. In case if you forget the password, you will be able to retrieve back. If you want, you can do it, but I will skip it now. Okay, I'll skip it. I'll skip this setup. If you want, you can give your password, you can receive a code, you can do authentication. So in future, if you forget any password, you will get a OTP to your number. You can do it. Okay, but I will not do it. I'll simply go to skip setup. And this account has been signed in. Everyone will get the account. You have to sign in. And once you go here, It will take you to the Fabric site. Now this is what is Microsoft Fabric. This is what is your Microsoft Fabric, all in one. You can see that you have Power BI inside this for reporting, Data Factory for doing all the data cleanings. Just now I told, right, Data Factory is for doing all the cleaning the data, and maybe you have some new resources, maybe time intelligence, data warehousing, data science, data engineering, everything you have. Now go here, you can see that this is a tenant that we have given. Okay, we will be giving this organization account, and I've told you in the beginning as well, from the KSR side, this is a giveaway that we need to have a very good here, and that's why we are sponsoring for every single person account. But please don't misuse it. This is only for each individual practice purpose. Please don't share this account to anyone. If in case if you're logging from two device, your account will be blocked. We will get a notification in the backend. If two or more people are using the same account, we will get a notification and that account will be blocked. And please don't get into all this trouble. You have spent some 10 hours here, you have registered, you have come here, you are actually putting your time here. For the time you're getting a reward. The reward is you're going to get an account which you can explore, right? So please don't misuse it. Use this effectively, because anyhow you will be getting only 2 months, and if you have already shared with someone, and in case in the back end, if the authentication fails, Microsoft will cancel the account. We have a tie-up with Microsoft. All these accounts we are getting it on the charge basis, and I should not reveal this, but still I'm saying for every account we are nearly spending 3,000. So 3,000 we are spending for every single account, but still we have paid this and we wanted to give you this. So please try to see, you can always go and get a free account, but the reason why we are giving is you can collaborate. Multiple people can work, because all these are organization. Now from today, the day you get the organization account of KSR, we are all colleagues now. You can message me in Teams, you can message me, you can send me an Outlook email, you can do everything, right? Because it's an organization account for us. So keep it safe. Try to log into only your system. One account, one system. In case if you are logging, then I am not responsible. I cannot go back and say that Mahesh and team that there was a guy who has shared this password, can you reset it? No, I cannot do it. So I'm telling you upfront, one person, one account, and we will be giving you, whoever has a 80% of attendance, we will give you. Use it effectively. Now how to activate is very easy. Simply go and click this free trial. As promised, we'll be getting 60 days. We'll be getting a 60 days, and post this also. See, usually what I've observed is the 60 days will not be actual 60 days, right? Sometimes they don't count it, sometimes they just keep the same numbers. That is not that accurate. The 60 days is not accurate. What I've observed, 45 after 60 days also, another 15-20 days also you'll still get it. So use it effectively, and also if really required, we can give another 1 month also, if really required, right? So your account will be valid for 2.5 to 3 months, which we are giving right away from tomorrow. From tomorrow, you will be allowed to use this platform under KSR. The tenant is an organization which we have our own tenant ID registered, and that tenant ID is KSR Consulting Services that we have already registered, and we are working with a lot of projects. So please use this effectively. Just like you join any company, like your name at tcs.com, your name at your name at hcl.com, wipro.com, infosys.com, the same organization ID is what this, but we have put some restrictions. So try to use it effectively. If you want to use a Fabric, you have to just go and activate this. Just go and click this free trial. When you sign up, you'll get a free Fabric trial capacity and free Power BI individual. And in fact, you can also use Power BI Pro version and premium version for the 60 days as an add-on. But anyhow, we are using a Fabric, right? So let's use Fabric now. So let's go and activate it. The day you activate, your time starts on that day. So let me go and activate it. Successfully upgraded to Microsoft Fabric. We have prepared a free trial capacity for you. You can create and work with your any items here, and I'll go to the home page. Now this is a home page, and you can see that the trial version 59 days left. 59 days left, and this is where I will be start doing all our projects, right? So we have the license created, we have the account created. Now you see, no subscription, no multiple services, no payment issues, nothing as such. This becomes a unified platform. This becomes a unified platform, and you can see all your data in one location, organize, collaborate, create. This collaborate is where you can do with your organization immediately. Simply you can go and get it any Microsoft account. On Microsoft account also you can get it, but you will only have to use it. There is no one who can share the report with you. There is no one who can work with you. You will working only with yourself. That will not give you a real-time experience. So with the organization, you will have that luxury to go and connect with every single person. Tomorrow you'll be somewhere. If you want to text to me also, you can text it on the Teams. That is what possible, right? Organization account meaning is that we can all connect with one environment and one tenant. Now I'll go here. In this, there is a Microsoft Fabric that is selected. You go and click this. You can see this Power BI, databases, data factory, industry solutions, real-time intelligence, data engineering, data science. If you go and choose Power BI, this will become like your Power BI service. People who already know Power BI, this is a place. If you select a Power BI, that is actually your Power BI service. Why Power BI service is used? Power BI service is used to share your reports. Now all these are the reports which is built by maybe our students. See here, maybe they have put some restrictions. I'll not be able to see, but let me show you if there is. Okay, this is also restricted. All are restricted. Yeah, see, this is a report. Just now I created account, right? Just now in front of you only I had logged in with a new account. Just before the class, Mahesh has generated me one dummy account. My account is actually Santosh, but they have created a dummy account to show you. So Santosh one is a dummy account now. So this account, just now I've logged in front of you. I've changed the password now only. But see, already my organization people have built the report, and you can see here. Sales report. Now that's the beauty when you connect your organization. All the people inside KSR, whoever is training from us, whoever is doing the projects, their report is visible for you. This you cannot get it if you are opening a personal account by yourself, right? Now, let's come back here. Let's come back here. As I said, again, you can log in app.powerbi.com. You have to sign in with the same account. So you can sign in, and already the password you have set, right? So next time it will not ask. You can directly go here. And this is a Fabric environment now, and you can go to a Power BI. If you select a Power BI, you will be able to see like a service, like you can create a workspace and you can start building a project. Everything we can do here. This is for reporting. But if I go here and if I go and click this Microsoft Fabric, I'll be taken here. Now here, the good thing about this is Microsoft Fabric, since it's a very, very new tool, they have added a lot of documentations. Okay. One has to have a patience to go and read it. Every single thing what they have implemented, what they have done, they have given the documentations. Personally, if you ask me where I go and prepare from, obviously I'll always refer the documentation. Documentation is the best ever place that you can get all the information, because I've seen a lot of people cut shorting the content only for YouTube likes, or maybe just pulling it from chat GPT and putting in the LinkedIn. So it will not work, right? If you are going and exploring, you have to explore from the documentation. Like whatever the information which is coming from YouTube or maybe other sites, it's a cut short words, right? You will not understand completely. The place where you can blindly trust, and I completely trust the document, is from Microsoft. Every single thing they will have mentioned. Yes, if you go and see this read document, you can see what is Microsoft Fabric, right? We can in the recent times 6 to 8 months back, they've introduced a co-pilot, what you can do with this, what you can do with this, and tour the Fabric portal. If you go and click this, navigate your items to Microsoft. See how clear it is. This article gives you a high level view of navigating to your items. How clear it is, right? Everything. See, today Fabric is launched. Last year Fabric is launched. I am teaching now. And today, this year, they will come up with some other update. So every time you cannot depend on someone to go and keep on teaching, right? Right? How long you'll depend on someone? Do you expect, okay, Santosh will come and teach any new update? Possibly or may not possibly happen. Who is going to learn? you have to figure out from the documentation, right? Every single thing, like what is this fabric settings, what is this workspaces, and how you can go with the direct lake, what is this co-pilot, everything you can see here. If I simply co-pilot, they have updated this article on November 19th. They've updated, they've added some content, and you can see enable the co-pilot. How to enable, they would have given here, right? So Copilot for Data Factory, Copilot for Data Warehouse. Copilot is like a chat GPT, similar to chat GPT, where you can directly go and ask something and you'll get the answer, right? So like this, you can always get started with the Fabric. Capabilities of Fabric, you can see what Fabric can does. Fabric is an end-to-end analytic solution. Every document is a clear-cut document, and you will see all of this. What are the features? What are the components? We have Power BI, we have databases, we have Data Factory. Okay, we have all of this, and we are talking about a one lake, right? One lake is, it's a lake where you have all of the data which is usable in all of the use cases, right? And we see here what is the Fabric contents, how is connected, and more coming soon. See, they are trying to have some more features. They mentioned coming soon. So coming soon means obviously they will be working on it, and in fact I need to appreciate this. Microsoft always have that consistency. Every single month they come up with an updates, and that is why today, even today, they are the one of the best brand that we can have, right? So please go to the documentation whenever you have time. You can read the documents even without the account. Okay, you can read the documents without the account also, but still I would say that you can go with this documentation. Okay, so I'll just take a confirmation from you all. Are you all with me? All clear? Yes. Okay, perfect. Thanks for the confirmation. Okay, right. Now we have the account. We have the account created, and as promised, tomorrow you'll be getting the credentials. Now let's go for Data Factory. So what I did in Azure, here Azure I went for Data Factory, right? In the Data Factory, what I did here, this is a copy activity where I need to add the source, where I need to add the sink. Similarly, what I can do here, this is a Data Factory. I'll click the Data Factory. Welcome to Microsoft Fabric, right? And you can create a workspace and you can add all of this there. If you see here, it's a copy activity, right? And inside this pipeline, I will also create a pipeline here. I'll create a pipeline here, and the pipeline name I'll create as a demo pipeline. I'll create a demo pipeline, and this is specifically to your account. You are creating a pipeline, and once I create a pipeline, this is a pipeline, right? Now this is one platform, and alt tab, this is a one platform. This is another browser which I have a Azure. Azure is like to keep an eye, it is a blue colored one. It's an Azure. So here Azure, I want to move the data from one activity to another activity or one place to another place. It is a copy activity. So copy activity, just simple. I need to give source and sink. There is a transformation that you can do, which is nothing but data flow. So data flow is a transformation activities. You can do some transformations. You can do some transformations, right? So what type of transformations? Maybe I want to filter it, clean the data, transform, join it, or if I want to write some logics, I can go and add it here. This becomes a data flow. So one is like copying the data from different sources. One is like a data flow which is used for your transformations. Same thing what we can do here. Maybe I will also use a copy activity. And next to copy activity, I have a data flow activity. I can add a data flow activity. Same thing. Only thing is this is app.powerbi, which is a Fabric one. This is a Azure one. That's all is a difference. That is all the difference, right? I've been telling again, don't think that, oh, it's a new software, it's a new tool. No, it's just a subset, right? I don't want to run the complete restaurant now. I don't want to run the complete restaurant. I know that people are interested only in desserts. Let me have a small shop next to my restaurant as a dessert. And where I'm getting the items for my desserts, it's coming from the main restaurant only. And that's how I will tackle it. And that's how I will tackle it. Okay. Now data copy activity, maybe data flow activity. Here also copy activity, data flow activity. You can see the color, right? But the only problem which I would still consider is this is still having a lot of issues. Most of the things are in preview stage. The preview stage may not be completely in a working stage. Lot of things are in preview. Lot of things are in preview. If I go to the home, see here, I'm talking about this one. See, data factory that is integrated with Azure is integrated. It is still in preview. Right now here we can go and create a new space. Basic level analytics you can do. Medallion architecture, there is an architecture that we can build. It will only tell you what you need to do, right? You can use a SQL database here. So all of this I am doing in the data factory. Now imagine instead of data factory I want to do some data engineering. What is data engineering? I have to get the data from multiple data sources, organize it well, right? I can click this now. Now this is a data engineering. In the data engineering, I can build a lake house, I can write a notebook, and I can write this Spark code, PySpark code, and again I can do some analysis. All of this I can do here. And apart from that, it also supports some sensitive data, machine learning models, all of this you can do. And again, if I come here, if I go with the real-time intelligence, maybe I will be able to connect some real-time data as well. Okay, event analytics, like every single minute whatever is happening, right? The best example I can give you for your real-time it your ECG data. Like ECG, what happens every time your heart beats, the graph keeps tracking, right? Every second your heart beats, right? And for every second your graphs will be updated. Or I can give a share market from morning 8:30 to afternoon 3:30. Your share market value, the company price is going up and down. It's a real-time data. That's an example for real-time analytics. All of this is a added features for time intelligence. Okay, now maybe data science. In the data science, I can build a ML model. So yesterday I've told you what is the difference between a data science, data engineer, and a data analyst. A data engineer is a person who's actually going to build the model for us. And that model you can see, I can create this machine learning model. So it takes time for you to explore this. Okay, this is a just a one site. I've already given you, I'll be giving the credentials tomorrow. So what you can do tomorrow, you can go and log in with your account, the one which you have given, and for the next 60 days explore it, do whatever we want. And these are all the, maybe the one lake is a storage for us. All of this becomes a storage, and then we go here. This, like, we can monitor also. If anything has failed, we can monitor. If anything is succeeded, we can monitor. And this is a workspace. What is a workspace? Workspace is like a projects. In this I can create multiple projects, multiple workspaces. Maybe for this event I can create one workspace. Tomorrow for my class I can create one workspace. Tomorrow Mahesh is giving me one project, I can create one workspace. So each workspace I can create like a one project. Okay, now with that, this is all about data science. So this is Power BI, this is database, data factory, and we can also build some data warehousing. All these are components under Microsoft Fabric, right? So now getting on to this, as I told you, there is a comparison that I'm making. Rather than using 3 services, 3 billing resource groups and all, I can go and use one environment, which is going to be the Fabric, right? Now let's get into the why this has made a bit unique is, in terms of other cloud, data warehousing has to be separately with the help of Azure Synapse. Maybe big data has to be separate. Why it's not coming full screen? Just give me a minute. I've opened a lot of tools, bear with it for that. I don't know why it's not coming. Okay, anyhow, here if you see here, like one I can use it for warehousing, one I can use it for reporting, one I can use for cloud computing and big data, right? In the traditional system, what is happening, each one is actually a separate service. Now in Fabric, all I'm going to try to bring it to one place, and that's the uniqueness about Fabric, right? And with respect to this, why it is different from Azure is, the first thing is, it's like if you see, like very easy process to get onboarded. In 5 minutes, I was able to log into Fabric account, right? Credentials is given, organization is ID is given, the license has been given. Directly you can go and explore it. It's very easy. But Azure means you have to go and add access, you have to go and take care of all your details and everything. It becomes a bit challenge when it comes to a access and navigation, right? I have to navigate here. If you see, I have to navigate to 3 different tools. One is for storage, one is for maybe cost management, maybe one is for Azure Data Factory, and I have to do a lot of things here. I have to do a lot of things here. But one thing what I would say is, all these are very easy when it comes to Fabric. So unified platform, one data lake platform, every data I can store it in a one lake. Every single data, whichever project you're doing, whatever you're working, reporting, data science, everything, we have made our work easier. And we have some advanced capabilities, collaboration. The beauty of Microsoft is they're very good at collaboration. Multiple people can work at the same time with the same project at whatever the changes we are doing, everything can be tracked. So all of this becomes unique when it comes to a Microsoft, right? Now, if you see here, the model, the workspace organization, the data lake, storage formats, everything, right? All of this, if you see here, everything I'm trying to get it into one environment, which is on Fabric, right? And here, if you see, the storage wise, it's a one storage only. It's just one storage. There's a one storage. This storage is actually unified data one lake. And here for the compute, I can use data factory, I can build data engineering projects, data warehousing projects, data science project, real-time analytics, notifications I can send, Power BI I can do it. And in the recent times, everything is integrated with Copilot. Everything is integrated with Copilot. Something you missed out, something your syntax error, or if you're not getting, you can directly go and ask the Copilot. Copilot is directly integrated to your Fabric, right? Those are the main reasons why I'm going with Fabric. Centralized data lake, integrated services, enhanced collaboration, and we will also be having a simplified and cost efficiency. Like cost wise, this is the best, right? How the cost is calculated, maybe we'll meet on some other day to discuss about it, because it's a bit a lengthy topic. But as of now, we have to explore the environment. Unless and until you jump into the water, you will never know the understanding of water, right? So if you're learning swimming, so you have to get into the water first, and for that you need that swimming pool. So we are giving you that swimming pool in terms of a workspace. We have given you the credentials. Start exploring. Anyhow, we will be doing one use case now, and that use case you can start implementing for your practice purpose. Data sets will be shared with you, approach will be shared with you, what analysis we have to do, that will be shared with you. Everything I am expecting a written project from you, and you can share it with me on the workspace itself. Okay, now can it do everything? It's 1 year old. It's 1 year old. Can it do everything? Well, to answer this question, we can inject the data from multiple sources. We can build a data science projects, data engineering projects, business intelligence projects, real-time analytics. Yes, this can be done. This can be done. But I always have a bad habit. You know what? I don't only see the positives. I also see the negatives. I need to figure out why Fabric we are using, why I should not use Fabric. There's always a two sides of a coin. You have a head, you have a tail. Now I need to figure out why I don't use Fabric, why I should not use Fabric. Maybe it's just 1 year in the market and you cannot implement some complex projects. You cannot implement some complex projects or a data science. What I do algorithms, maybe that is a bit of trouble here. And legacy systems means very old system. Very old system integrated with very old systems may not at all be possible or maybe require some workaround. Maybe I want to connect to a 20 years back, there was a tool called IBM Data Stage, or maybe Informatica, old version of Informatica, or old version of Ab initio. At this point of time, there is a lag. If someone comes to me, organization comes to me and says that, boss, can you migrate my data from old system to Fabric? I'm saying to them, sorry, sir, it's not possible. Reason? Your Fabric has some limitations of connecting to old version of tools. It's 2024 tool, right? Right? People who are born this year, or last year, you go and ask them what is COVID, they will not know. People who are born this year and last year, you go and see that when did India win the World Cup, they don't know. Right? They will not know it because it's a new tool. So similar to Fabric also, Fabric is good with the last 10 years, 12 years, what is happening in the market, they are aware of it. But 20 years back or the old tool, they are not aware. So connecting to a legacy systems is a bit of trouble. And as of now, what we have experimented, every company's data, we are trying to create it, and no one is taking the risk actually. No one is taking the risk. So we are still not able to prove that is it really possible to use a very big data in your Fabric. The reason is tomorrow we have a KSR data, we have a good data, and we have actually stored the data in Azure. Now if suddenly Mahesh comes and says that, hey Santosh, can you push it to Fabric and see? Now I'll be thinking multiple times. Just now we have moved to Azure. Just now we have moved to Azure. In the 2011 to 2020 is where we have moved to Azure. And suddenly why again you have to move to Fabric? Let's wait for some days. Let's wait for some days. Right? Now that's where you will be observing. The best example I can give you is during the COVID time, you had the vaccines you had, right? I forgot the name also. Co-Shield and Covaxin, I think. Co-Shield and Covaxin, there were two medicines that we had, right? The vaccines. Did you try on the day one itself? Hey, yes, today there was a launch in the vaccine. Let's give a try. Did we do it? Did we do it? No, we waited. We waited for the people to be tested, right? We waited for 2 months, 3 months. Then we went and explored, right? The same way, if something comes new to you, doesn't mean that day one I have to explore and have to do it. It's a time for us to think. Is because for every company, data is critical. Am I going to store all the data and I'm going to process it? Can I do it right away? We need to think. But as and then I've also had an insight. It is important to know that the specific capabilities. Maybe you're seeing this video after 1 year, it may be invalid. 1 year after this, if you go and see this 3-day sessions, it may not be helpful because we all know that Microsoft is coming every month an update. So as of now, I can even clearly mention as of 30th November 2024, this is a limitation. So you go and see in the next 1 year and you go and say that, is it a limited? No, it may or it may not. They would have fixed it, right? Now, with that, people are saying Fabric will be a game changer. Everyone is saying, yeah, forget about every other tool. Let's go for Fabric. Let's go for Fabric. But Fabric is definitely going to be a game changer in terms of data analytics by having all this simplified data management, enhanced collaboration or time to insights, reduced complexity, cost effective. Yes, it is good. It is good. But I will not prove it, or I don't have the proof to prove you that it is best. It may or it may not click. Some of the new coming features, what we have observed is they are going to enhance their one lake. Now they have one lake, but they are trying to have some enhancements, and they're going to have some a separate engine. As of now, they are using Azure engine. Azure's engine they are using. Maybe they will have a separate engine, and with that engine, we may have to work going forward. Some additional features, Copilot integration, some user experience. The only one thing I personally did not like in Fabric is the user interface. It's not that good. See, it's not that good. If I go here, See here, if I go here, I have to go here. Maybe I'll go with the data factory. I need to search. Oh, what is this workspace? What is this general? The user interface is not up to the mark. But I had the same experience when I was using Power BI in 2016. 2016 and 17, Power BI was different. Now the Power BI is different. In the 6-7 years, they have become a top-notch product, right? So similarly, this also can become in maybe as and then you can keep taking some screenshots on the fabric and see how it is changing over the next few months. Now it is green color, or maybe this one, if you see, right, all the icons are green color here, and this is how it looks, right? Maybe next 2-3 months after that, this may not be there. They would have changed the user interface, because user interface has become a blocker. Okay, now it has become a blocker. With all that, we see that there are some new features that is coming to. And one last question, and this is a last slide before getting into the practicals. Can I use Fabric for all of my projects? It's 1 year in the market, and Azure is 14 years into the market. Now the choice is yours. Are you going with 14? Or are you going with 1? You can build your project in Azure. You can build your project in Fabric. And for both of this, there is only one parent, who is Microsoft. Right? This is what we have to conclude now. Let's think and conclude, and then let's get into the practicals. Azure, 14 years in the market. Imagine that you are the parent and you have 2 kids. One is a Azure, 14 years, and another one is a newborn kid, 1 year. Now who knows that newborn kid can be even more sharp than the elder one, right? Or elder one already know what is happening in his life or her life, so they can be matured enough. Now maturity also been added one here. How matured enough is to handle the business data, critical data, security data, all of these features, right? So your elder one can become more smarter in the coming years, but as of now, you're training them. But the good thing is your fabric actually getting the same character of Azure. That's a good thing. Whatever your Azure was doing, the same thing your fabric is doing. And that is where I have the hopes that yes, fabric can be another game changer tool for us, another platform which can become and which can tackle it. But I have never seen any project moving out of Azure as of today. It's been 1 year. Okay, they're simply stopping the project in Azure and doing in the project in the Fabric. I've never seen. They're experimenting it. Even I have done it. My clients told me, a lot of clients are telling me, hey, let's move to Fabric. I told them, let's wait. Let's do a use case. We'll pick some use case here. We'll pick some use case. We'll try to implement here. We'll compare the price. We'll compare the performance. We'll compare the data security. We'll compare the data validations. We'll see how easy it is. Then we will take a call. Simply just because there is a new product, I cannot go and jump in here. Right? Now we have to think, and then we have to focus on the tool. So today, to answer your question, am I going with Azure? Am I going with Fabric? The answer to your question, we can do your project in both. Majority of the projects are already in Azure. Sometimes the new projects which is coming, they are taking a risk. The reason why they are taking a risk, they have a backup, but still why they are taking a risk is, let's give a try. What if it works? Let's start using Fabric, because again pushing all of this becomes a challenge. And that is why you can see that these guys are making easier. See here, this new update, I'll tell you a new update. Somewhere I saw this morning only. They're making easier for easier for us to integrate. So Azure integrated with Fabric. So they're trying to bring some new updates. Somewhere I saw actually. Wait, where is that? Maybe I'll share you the link, but they're trying to integrate your actual ADF. If you see here, this is a actual ADF, which is in the preview stage. Mount an ADF into the Fabric to monitor all pipelines. They're trying to get here, if you see. We can get the actual Azure Data Factory. The name you can see, right? Actual Azure Data Factory. So in order to move the data from Azure to Fabric, that also they're trying to come up with some updates. We can easily get your Azure to be involved in Fabric, because what companies are facing a challenge is, hey, is it really required to migrate it? So now Microsoft is saying, hey, let me give you the option to move the data, to move your pipelines from your Azure to Fabric. Let me give a way. Then you try it. Maybe now you're not taking risk because you have to put some manual work, you have to write some logics or all. Maybe I will give an option, you try it. And that is where now we are into this. So the conclusion is, there is nothing like this is best or this is bad. It's all about your usage. All the existing projects are still in Azure, and Fabric is something which we have to wait and watch. Okay, now with all this, let's get into our main core one real-time project. So can Fabric handle all the heavy lifting? You take your kid and you ask them to lift all the dumbbells. Can it lift all? May or may not, right? So let's wait and watch. Can it handle all the heavy lifting what your Azure was doing? So we will go with practicals. Before getting into this practicals, every company, when you go to a company, the first thing they will always share is business requirement document. Without this, there is no project. Without this, there is no project. BRD stands for business requirement document. Initially, they had two documents. One was FRD, functional requirement document, but now they have put everything into one document, business requirement document. People who are entering the organization for the first time, and you have been put into a project for the first time, the one thing you need to go and ask your team members, your leaders, your project managers is, can you share me the BRD? Can you share me the BRD? So BRD stands for business requirement document, which will have all the details. If I simply go and tell orally, do that, do this, tomorrow they'll blame us. Hey, you have not done this, you have not this. What if it is documented? What if it is documented, right? So this document will have all the requirements, and this document outlines a business requirement for developing a data engineering project and data analytics project, and that we will be doing for Uber. The dataset includes driver, location, rides, user, vehicle, which will be used to derive the insights. What is a business objective? To design and implement an efficient data pipelines that inject the data from different storages to ensure the data is clean and to automate the flow. All good. Then we have to do a data analysis. As I told, our end goal is to build a report. As I told, our end goal is to build a report, right? Now, coming to the scope, we have to extract the data. We have 5 tables. We have a drivers, location, riders, users, and vehicle. And we have to create one cloud base. Now here we can use Azure SQL, Azure Data Lake Storage, or we will use a one lake. we will do it in one lake, because that's what is a new update in Fabric, right? So Fabric, we will do it in one lake, and followed by, imagine the data which I'm getting in CSV file formats, Excel file formats, all of this, and let's see how we can have the data consistency. Then we will do all the standardization. Then they're asking to build some analytical tables, and finally they are looking for some maybe trip statistics, or what each driver like what is his rating. Whenever you're taking a ride, you first see the driver's rating. If it is 1, why will you take it, right? You'll cancel it. So driver's rating, everything, and what is the revenue that is getting generated, all of this, and who will be our stakeholders: business team, data engineering team, data analytics team, IT team. All of these people are from Uber. So Uber people are the people who are stakeholders for us, because we are working in TCS now. So there is an agreement that is being tied up between TCS to Uber. So Uber is going to give the work for us, and the clients for us will be Uber. In the Uber also there will be data engineers and data analytics, but they will not do any work. They will give it to us. That is how it is. Okay. And then what is expected out of deliverables? Data engineering team, they fully want the pipeline to be created, cleaned and transform the data, and every project they should also have a well documented. And the data analytics, in terms of EDA recommendations, we have to do some Power BI reports. So this will be the timeline. It's a like 6 weeks project, but we will not be able to complete that project in the 3 hours. I'll be giving a complete overview, and we will do a small pipeline test. Apart from that, you can enhance the report, and finally it will be reviewed, it will be signed. Maybe today we are reviewing it. And who is the business lead for this project, who is the data engineering lead, and these people will take the responsibilities, and this will be prepared by either client or TCS team, whoever it is. Okay, it will be either prepared by client or maybe our team, and finally it will be agreed. It will be reviewed and agree. So it may not be in the same Word document. It will have some logos. Maybe Uber logo will be there, TCS logo will be there, well documented, footer, header, alignment, margins. It will look like an actual document. Okay, so this is a business requirement document that will be signed. That is a contract that is signed between Uber and TCS, saying that this is what we'll complete, this is what we'll complete in the timelines, and this is what it is. Okay, now next, you'll also given you're also given data. You're also being given data. The data, we have a driver data, location data, riders data, user data, vehicle data. Let's see what is this Uber data consist of. Okay, so I'll be discussing about the Uber data now. So this is a Uber BRD, and imagine this is a Uber data that we have. Okay, now this is a Uber data we have. And what is this Uber data? One is a vehicle data, one is user data, one is a rider information, and one is coming from the database. This is a location. Okay, and specifically we have taken a certain examples, and from where to where you're traveling, maybe that location details we have, and we have the driver information. Now, the biggest challenge as a data engineer, you will may get it. It is in different formats. Your driver is in a JSON format. Your location is in a different format, your riders is in a different format, maybe your users is in a different format, and your vehicle is in a different format. Now let's see how it looks like. If I go and see this, now this is called XML data. This is called XML data. Now what do you mean by XML data is, this is a vehicle number, and this is a vehicle ID, vehicle number, and what type of vehicle is having, what model, what is the color, what is the capacity, whether it's a petrol or diesel, is a GPS enabled or not. This becomes one row. This becomes one row. This becomes one row. This becomes one row. Wherever you see the black color, that's a data. Wherever you see the black color, it's the actual data. Okay. Oh, what is this? They have shared in this format. Now, how can I collect this? How can I do a reporting? Right now, there's another other information which is called a driver information, which is sharing in the JSON format. Who is a driver? Who is a user? Who is a vehicle? What is his license number? What is his rating? Whether is active or not? Right? All of this they are tracking here. This is a driver information. Like this, each one they have given different data. Now we will do the project on this only. We will pull the data to our Power BI or maybe Fabric, then we'll do all the data cleanings, and then we will focus on the transformation part, and then we will do the reporting. That is what we are setting up the stage for the project. But to explain it, I will show in this Excel format. So every data I've converted to Excel format so that for explanation it becomes easy. The first data which I'm going to tell you is user. So this is a user data. This is a user data. So in order to keep the data security as well as data integrity, I would have masked the data. You will not find the actual username like Santosh, Kiran, Anand, Vinod. You will not find the actual Uber customers. The data is masked. Okay, so with the help of the Uber APIs, we have requested and we have got a sample data. This is a sample data. This is not a real data, but the structure remains same. You go and check the people who are working in Uber, you may get it. This will be the actual columns, right? Maybe the column names will be different, but this is what we are storing. Now in this, let's see what we have. We have a user ID. Every user is been given one ID. And you have a username and possibly the Gmail ID which you have registered. When you're logging for the first time, you give a sign up. What is important in the sign up? It is important to give the user ID, name, email ID, phone number. And again, phone number is masked. Okay, that means I have hidden. Actually, phone number were not masked. Then it's a phone number is basically secured, right? What if you get frequent calls? In the recent movie I just saw somewhere, by mistakenly someone has shown one person's phone number on the screen, it seems, and that person was bombarded with lot of calls, and that guy has raised a case against the director. I don't remember the movie. Somewhere I saw in the news. They have raised 1 crore rupee as a compensation just because my number was put on the screen. Random number only. Unfortunately, the random number was one person's number, and this guy is Indians. What we do? Hey, maybe it's a celebrity's number. Let's me call. So something has happened. So that's why I have specifically masked this data. The data which I got as was an actual phone number, but I have masked the data. And this is a password. When I say password, it is encrypted and decrypted, and the profile pics that will be taken from your Gmail. All this may not be necessary for my company, but we are getting it. Now, you can either become a rider or you can become a driver. It's your wish. Imagine I have a person. I want to work for Uber. I am also a user. I am a driver. You are taking a rider. You're also a user. So in generalized, I'm calling this table as a user table. In this user table, you will be rider as well as you will be a driver. Both will be into a same table, which is called user table. Because if you're driver also, you have to log into the screen, right? You have to log into the app. Even if you're a rider also, driver or rider, both you have to go and log in. And when you have created your account, and either if you have changed your phone numbers, you have changed your password, you have changed your email address, the updated date. This is called user data. To have the time limit, we have kept it bit simple in terms of the cleaning and all. What you need to understand is a process. Okay, what you need to understand is a process. Maybe different companies will have different type of columns and different kinds of data, but you need to understand the process. So here, this is a user. So the first table, see, if you don't understand this data, you will not be able to do the project tomorrow. So I would request you to focus on this, what each table consists of. This table consists of both drivers and riders. And you can see that totally there are how much is that? 16,037 customers are there. When I say customers, both drivers and riders. Okay, phone number, password, profile pic not required. Maybe my user ID, username, and whether they're driver or a rider, that is important, and when they have updated. Now this is the first table which is called user table. So let's list it down. What tables we have? So the first table we have is users table. So what is this user table? User will have both driver as well as a rider. You are not called a customer, you are called as a rider here. Okay, you are a rider. So we have the users, driver and rider. Now, next table. Let's talk about only drivers, because drivers are the main people who are taking you the ride, right? So let's go and see. See, the data is actually given in different formats. The driver is given in the JSON format. We will use it for project. For explanation purpose, I have already created a copy out of it. So we will see. Now this is a driver. Now what does a driver have? If you see here, for driver also you have one unique key called driver ID. Okay, here you had a user ID. Here you add a user ID, which is unique for every user. And in the driver also, you have a driver ID. But the good thing is that driver ID is also part of user table, right? So you will be having one user ID also. If I go and show you that, see, in the first four people, who is a driver? Driver it U004. The first three people are riders. So these are all riders. And this guy is a driver. So this guy has to be present in the driver table. See, driver ID is 1, but he is already having a user ID. What is his user ID? His user ID is 004. And if I go and filter for 004, he will get all the information. For 004, I will get the complete information, what user he is, what driver, when did he got updated, what is his password, what is his phone number, everything I'll get it. So this is a driver. For that driver, I already is a part of a user table. So I can simply say that this is a drivers table where you will have all the driver information. When I say driver information is vehicle number. This is not a vehicle number. This is vehicle ID. Every vehicle will be given with one ID. And for that, what is his driving license? And what is his driving license? This is the actual driving license number. And again, we have masked it. And for them, what is a rating? There is an average rating of this driver is 3.8, 1.9, 1.9. And there are certain drivers who are not in place now. They have stopped riding. They have stopped the business, or they may have left the company, so they are inactive. And when they have updated all this, you can see. So this is already having a driver information, right? Now, the first one is a user, the first one is a driver. The next one, simply you will not take a ride, right? Simply you will not take ride on the drivers. You will see what type of vehicles are there. So we have a vehicle ID. So vehicle ID means we need to have a vehicle table. So let's go and see the vehicle table. So in the vehicle table, for that vehicle 001, what is his vehicle number? What is the vehicle number? So vehicle number KA01, KA04, and the example which I have taken is, considering we have taken only Bangalore data. Okay, the use case that we are going to build will be Uber Bangalore data. So most of the vehicles, if you see, it will be like a Bangalore registration or maybe Karnataka registration. And this vehicle, who is owning this? KA41 JK4009. Who is owning this? This is owned, or this is being driven by a driver called driver 0001. And who is the driver 001? The driver 001 will be this guy, but his license will be this one. His rating is this one. Is he active? Yes. But what is the name of this driver? He's already part of user 0004. So I'll go to the user 004. So the driver name is Anand. Anand at Gmail is a driver. See how they have organized the tables like this to store a specific information in specific tables. So this is a user, this is a driver, and this is a vehicle. For that vehicle number, we'll give a vehicle ID, who is a driver, and the vehicle type is sedan, and the model is Suzuki, color is blue, capacity 4, petrol, is a GPS enabled, and when did the registration happen for that vehicle? What is the insurance expiry date? What is a fitness certificate? All these are vehicle details. All these are vehicle details. Okay, and for that vehicle, this is not the actual owners, this is who is driving the car at that time. and you will get only the vehicles that has been registered here. Okay, so we have discussed vehicle also. So vehicle will have vehicle details. So 3 tables we have discussed. One is will tell you whether who's a driver or a rider, and in the second information we have all the drivers information, and third one we have all the vehicle information. Now fourth one is the actual main table, rights table. This is a very main table. Okay, this is a very main table. Let's see what is this rights table is. So let's go for rights table. Now this is a very big data. Okay, we almost have 98,789 rights details we have. Now we will see what is this and how to read this data. Okay, now every single ride will have a ride ID. Whoever takes a ride, they will be given with one ride ID. What is that ride ID? R001, R002, R003, some random ID will be given. Okay, now let's analyze this. Okay, ride ID is 001. Ride ID is 001. Okay, and for that, who is a user? Who is a user who has taken this ride? It's 4354. Okay, who has taken the ride? So this is a ride ID. Who is this? Is a ride ID. I'm talking about only one row. This is a first row. This is a first row that we are going to discuss in detail. Who is the first row? Like we have taken a ride, and who has taken this ride, and the ride is R001, and who is a user? We don't know. Let's go and figure out who is a user. 4354. I'll have to go to user table. 4354. And imagine 4354, this person. Imagine he is not user. Let's say Kiran. Kiran is a user and his email ID is Kiran. I have masked the data. This will be the actual people's username and the email ID. So let's assume that this ride is taken by Kiran. So who is a rider? Kiran. What is his name? What is his email? We'll take this. So who is a rider? Kiran. And the user ID is this one. This is a user who is nothing but rider. And what is the rider name? Kiran. Maybe email is not required for me. I'll keep a Kiran. Okay, next, let's go to the right table. For him, who was a driver? For him, who was a driver? D11277. 2177. So 2177 means I have to go to the driver table. 2177. So let's go here. 2177. So he is a driver. And this driver name also I can figure out because he is also part of user table, right? So if I go and search 10883, I will get the driver name. And this driver will have a vehicle. This driver will have a vehicle. What is that vehicle? V2177. So let's say that this is a driver and I will assume that the driver name is Rahul. The driver name is Rahul. How did I get to know? Because he is part of user table only with the type driver. Okay. Now let's come for vehicle. Which vehicle he was actually driving? So 2177, I will go to the, see it's a bit, you need to understand where the flow is. Okay. So I'll go for driver information. I got 2177. This 271, what vehicle they have driven, we'll see. Vehicle number, vehicle ID is 2177. Let's go to the vehicle table. 2177. I can apply filter, but this will take 2177. Yeah, this one. So these guys have taken a ride in this vehicle, sedan, Honda, and it is a 5 people, and it is actually in a very good condition. So this driver information along with the vehicle information. This is a vehicle. This is a vehicle where your Kiran has taken the ride and Rahul was a driver. Which vehicle? This vehicle, sedan, Honda, and red color. And all this information I can get it right now. Where he was picked. When you're taking a ride, you need to know where he was picked. So the pickup location says that L0025. Now I don't know what is this L0025. I already have the mapping here. L0025 means he's been taken a ride from RT Nagar. So RT Nagar is a location where this guy was picked up. Okay, pickup location. And for that also I have a location table. I'll show you this. In the location table, I'll get the location information. So where did the ride start? Pickup location. The pickup location is L0025. So L0025 is what? RT Nagar. So the pickup location was RT Nagar, Bangalore. Okay. And when did the pickup time happen? The pickup time happened on ride start date. The pickup what happened on time? It's on 12th August 2024, 3 months back, and it happened on 12/22, and it is actually in the 24-hour time. So 24-hour time means the time is 12:20 p.m. Okay, it happened on 12:20 p.m. Let's see where he was dropped. The dropping point for this person was L0031. So the drop off point, right, where he was dropped at L0031. What is this L0031? Go to the location table. There is an area called Ennur. There is an area called Ennur. So the drop happened is Ennur. Okay. And when did the drop happen? When did the drop happen? The drop happened was there is a drop time also. That is a ride end time is there. I'll take the ride end time. So time where it took them to drop is, if I want to convert that, it's 1:30. So it started at 12:20 and they dropped at 1:30. And where they have dropped, basically they are also tracking based on pickup latitude and longitude. Okay, so this rider, this user who has taken the ride from this particular driver, what is his pickup location? The pickup location was actually from the RT Nagar, and the drop is from the Hennur, Bangalore, and the time taken was the ride start date and the ride end date, and this is a start time. It started at 12:20 and they finished at 1:30, and the pickup latitude and drop latitudes are there, and the total distance that is covered from RT Nagar to Hennur is 5.5 kilometers. The distance is 5.5 kilometers, right? And the charges that is being charged is fare is 243 rupees, and it's an Indian price. Okay, rupees 243. Now this is what one ride information. This is what one ride information. What is this ride? We have a ride ID. We have that particular user. That user name is Kiran, who has taken the ride from the Rahul. What is his vehicle number? Where was he picked up from? Where he was dropped? And what is the distance? And for 5.5 kilometers, what is the charge? Like this, you have 98,000 rides that has been happened in Bangalore Maybe I've taken a sample of last 2-3 years data, right? So we can read like what is a rider, who is a user, which driver, from where to where he was picked. Now this location, pickup location was also ID, drop is also ID. But if you go and see that, you will have this. So Indranagar to Jayanagar, Ebbal to Kormangla, Marathalli to Malleshwaram. So Bannerghatta to BTM. So this ID is what? Pickup and drop. With this, we have got the first row. So now the actual challenge is Uber has shared all the 5 tables in a different formats. One is in the JSON, one is in the comma separated, one is in Excel, and one is in, maybe I would say, XML file. Now what I need to do, I need to bring all this into one environment which is called One Lake, and then we have to do a reporting, and we have to figure out what analysis we can bring. The analysis is, we need to figure out a simple analysis. I'll tell you. Okay, how many orders or how many writes have got cancelled? How many orders have got cancelled? There are a lot of orders that there are a lot of requests will get cancelled. How many have got cancelled, right? How many riders ride on daily basis? Was the weekend or weekday? When did the ride happen more, right? And which location that people are traveling more? And then come to a maybe rider driver information, who has a maximum rating, right? What is the average rating? All this I can get it. So all this are the analysis that we are going to do. We have set the stage and we have understood the data, and every single row I can read it like this. Who is a driver, who is a user, when he was picked. The pickup time is very important for us because it tells us how much distance, how much time they have traveled. And this guys, no doubt here, is in Bangalore. So obviously it's traveling 5 kilometers. It has taken 1 hour. 1 hour for traveling 5 kilometers, and it's definitely acceptable because he's in Bangalore. Now this is what is a data. So we have set the stage for our data, and the last one table we have is a location table. It gives you the location information. And the location information, I'm assuming that it is in the database, or I can also share it as a CSV file. Whenever the clients are sharing in different formats, will be different. So what will be my objective now is, I need to bring all the data together, because now what I am doing is, I don't know, right? Who is user? I am going and searching here. First I have to go a user table. I need to figure out who is this user. Then who is the driver? Or even in the right information, I literally am picking it. Where is this pickup point? Where is the drop point? Who is the driver? What is the vehicle number? From which vehicle people are traveling more? I'm searching here and there. And I want to bring it all into one table and then build a report on that. That will be our next step. Okay, so this is something which we are setting the foundation. We have the data, we have the environment, we have decided to go with Fabric. We also have the access, a new workspace is being given to us, and all in all, we have to start app.powerbi.com, sign into your account, and you have the Fabric environment. We can do this project. We can do this project in either Azure services with the help of storage. I will store it here. See where I have stored the data now. Where I have stored the data? I have stored in my personal machine. Do you think they will share the data in the personal machine? No. They may put it into a storage in the cloud. So they may give it in the ADLS. And I've told you in the start of the class, how can I clean the data? Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory is one of the best ETL for cleaning. So I'll clean here. Then I'll put here. So the entire project can be done using these 3 services in Azure, or all 3 I can do it in Fabric. We are going to opt for Fabric. Your Fabric solution may not be best, but we'll still give a try because it's a new environment. Let's give a try. It's just a POC project. So let's give a try. So that will be the next step. we are going to work on this business requirement document. They've asked to build a data engineering, and they've asked to build everything, and they've asked to do a reporting, and that will be the next step, right? And the data, they have shared it here, which we will be also sharing with you for the practice purpose. Now, once we do the project tomorrow, we want everyone to do the same project so that tomorrow you get into a Uber or you get into a Ola or you get into a Rapido client, you can do it without any trouble. Okay, so that's the foundation, and we have everything in place. So let's have the question and answer session. Just give me a minute. My screen is behaving a bit differently. I'll unmute everyone. Yeah, so I'll unmute it. You can ask your questions one by one. First, we'll go with the chat question.
Can we create our own account for free with using Gmail?
Sorry. You can create your
one account for by using our Gmail for Fabric.
Where? No. You have to either use Microsoft account or you have to use an organization account. Your Gmail will not work.
We can use Microsoft account.
Microsoft account in the sense it's not an Outlook account. You have to specifically have a Microsoft account. But the problem is with whom you will share. You have to use individually. If you use an organization account, you can share it with everyone. So organization account is what is preferred to have that collaboration.
Okay.
Hi Santosh.
Sorry.
Yes.
Hi Santosh. One question is that you're talking about the cost, right? In Azure portal, we are getting different costs for different PaaS services, but whereas we are using all the services in one Fabric. So here, how we can get the cost? Either one service only we are getting the cost, or instead whatever in the Fabric, whatever services we are using for that individual will get the cost. Just I want to high level difference.
Yeah. So here there in Azure, what happens? The cost is happening at the service based, but here in with respect to Fabric, it is a license based. For this particular license, how many services I'm using inside? So license based, I have to pay. It's like you can think about like a complete Fabric license. An organization is paying, and they'll take care of it. You need not think like how much we are spending individually. The pricing will happen at the Fabric layer itself.
But the usage, but now in Azure, services are there, but based on the usage, they are going to charge correct on daily basis. But here
also on the workspace basis, they will track it.
Okay.
Like each workspace, how much we are using, how much we are tracking, they will utilize that.
Okay. This is not irrespective of services how they are using, right?
No, it's a license based.
License based. Okay. One more thing, you're talking about the data flows, right? In ADF when compared to the Fabric. So I heard that in Fabric, data flows are come with the workflows. It's kind of Power BI how we can do, right? Workflows kind of thing. So is both are same or different? Because I heard 1 year back. Now how it will be?
Your Power BI data flow is different. Your Azure data flow is different. Your Fabric data flow is different. Your Fabric data flow and Azure data flow are like quite simple, same. Like you can do some transformations. But if you're taking a Power BI data flow is like whatever you do in that Power Query, right? You used to do it in the Power BI service. That is a different. So don't get confused. What you see in Azure data flow, it is same as like what you see in your Power BI.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hi Santosh, are you going to upload these recordings in YouTube?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we also will guide you how to walk through the records. In the end of the session, we will take care about that.
Any questions on project data?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Santosh, Adil here.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to confirm like how we are going to approach the project. Are we going to use Azure Data Factory or we use
Uh,
Microsoft Fabric? So
yeah,
two,
as I told, we will be using Fabric for this project.
okay. So can we able to see two terminologies like specifications like in terms of differentiation with ADF and Fabric?
You want to know difference?
Yeah, differences how we approach on Fabric and how we approach on Azure Data Factory using
So
the user.
the entire project we will be doing it in Fabric. Okay, the same thing we can replicate in Azure also. If time permits, we will do both. But the objective of this workshop will be only on Fabric. So today we have seen the problem statement, we have seen the data. So tomorrow we'll be doing a project. That project will be completely in Fabric. And the same thing, if time permits, I'll show you in because this project itself will take 4 hours tomorrow. 4 to 4.5 hours it will take. So completely we'll be focusing on Fabric. And for more things, if you want to learn in Azure, the same project we can do it in Azure, but we'll have another workshop. For this, we'll focus only on Fabric.
Sure, Santosh. Thank you.
Hi,
Hi,
Santosh.
Santosh.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi,
The
Santosh. Good
question
morning.
is,
Go ahead.
yeah, the question is, see, like I have a Power App, which is a in-source for my database. Okay.
Okay.
And can I have that data source in Azure Factory as well?
Yes, you can have it. In fact, in Power Apps, if you're doing some insert update, it is directly getting into either a data verse or it is getting into a data table. That tables, you can use it in your ADF for doing all the transformations, and then that cleaned data, you can store it into another database. That is possible.
So the database which is there in Azure, sorry, Fabric, also we can write into it and we can read from it. It's not
Yes.
read only.
Yes, you can write it and you can read also. Same thing what your SQL database does, your Fabric also will do the same features. We'll give you the same features.
Okay. Thank you.
Santosh, if you're working on a multiple
Sir, as
projects,
driver information is not available in the user form, right? How did you pull that Rahul name, sir?
Rahul, I just edited, right? See, I gave a just a dummy value, right? See, this had a user data. This was the user information. In the user information, we had all the users, and I assumed that there is a driver called Rahul, and that Rahul data I just give an example only. This one, see, mask data, right? It's a mask data. I cannot pull the original Uber data. They'll throw me out. So I have to take a mask data. In the mask data, I've given some mask IDs, and I've given an example. Example, user Kiran is a person who's booking the cab. Rahul is a person who's driving. This Rahul is also a username who's present in the user table. Only difference how you will get to know whether he is a driver or is a user, you will get to know with the help of this column. There is a column called type. This user type, whether he's a rider or a driver, we will get to know here. From here, you will get to know the name. So for one person, I changed as a Kiran. For another person, I changed as a Rahul. I'm just taking as an example only.
Santosh,
Clear?
I have a question.
Hi, Santosh.
Let's say if
It's
we're
Harsha,
working
right?
on a multiple projects. So when you are working on multiple projects, do you prefer that we make project-wise lakehouse or only one lakehouse with all the projects for all the data from different projects?
Imagine I'm working for Uber. Imagine I'm working for Uber. In Uber, what I will do, I will work for rides, I'll work for payments, I will work for, let's say, feedbacks, I'll work for different domains. I mean, different sectors are there within Uber means I will use one lake, only one lake. And if I'm trying to bring another e-commerce, why will I go and club it? So e-commerce will become another project. For that one, I can create another lake.
Okay, so different workspaces for different project and different lakehouses for different kind of
Yes,
data.
that's perfect. Yes.
Okay, and let's
Santosh,
say, when we are
Santosh, one
inputting
more
the
thing.
data, there are a lot of ways or there are different ways where we can input the data, either from data factory or, so what do you prefer? Like whenever we are getting data from API or anything, which is the best way to input? Is it from data factory or is it from some other?
See, data factory is a data integration tool which I am using to pull all the data. Whether the data may be coming from CSV, flat files, Excel files, APIs, I'll be using ADF and I'll be pulling the data. So depends on where they are sending. I cannot decide. They are deciding where I have to send. So with the help of ADF, I can pull it however I want.
Okay.
Hi Santosh.
So Santosh, in
See,
a project,
some
there is a data engineer, and I am the person who knows Power BI and Fabric.
Hmm.
So how we are going to segregate the work? I mean, as a data engineer activities, as a Fabric person, and Power BI as
Yeah,
simply data.
this project, the Uber project which you have picked, will be taken care by two people. One will be a data engineer, one will be a data analyst. So first data engineer will come into picture. Whatever the first half that we are going to do tomorrow will be done by a data engineer. He will work upon that project, and then the data analyst who comes in will start do reporting. Both will be in the same team, right? So both will collaborate. So even if you don't know data engineering, you will know what data engineers are doing tomorrow, like getting all of the data, calculating, doing some calculations, how revenue is calculated. We all know that Uber is actually generating the revenue based on our amount that we are paying. That amount, certain amount is going for driver, certain amount is going for Uber, but we don't know how much they are generating. All these calculations we have to do tomorrow. So this calculations will be done by data engineers, followed by we will be like doing the analysis and reporting. So two people will be involved. One will be a data analyst, one will be a data engineer.
Santosh,
So can
we need
data
the source
engineer
files,
will
right?
occupy the
So in
Fabric
order to
role?
get the source files, we have to use the Azure Data Factory. In Data Factory in the Fabric. So in this case, some cases we need to get the files from the on-premise. So we have a feasibility to connect to the on-premise services from Fabric through ADF. That's
Yes.
the first question.
Today we have the data location data in my database, right? So I've shown you as an Excel file, but where is actual data? The actual data is present in the database, no? So tomorrow I have to get it from here.
No,
One
but
I have to get it from
database.
on-prem, one I have to get it from CSV, one I have to get it from JSON. So it will be in different formats, different sources. So tomorrow we will also connecting this on-prem data. From this only I have to pull the location information.
Okay, so we have a feasibility to connect to the on-premise, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Second question is that, see, for example, when we run, Databricks, we have to start the cluster. Okay. In Synapse Analytics also, in order to run the dedicated SQL tool, in order to run the query, we have to start the, server. So like the same way, we have to start any services in order to run the queries in Fabric. That's the first question.
Here, as I said, as of now, Fabric is also coming with a built-in engine. They have their own engine which will generate a Spark works. So you can directly go and write a Spark. For that, you need to set up some configurations. But the way your Synapses works, the way your Databricks works, it is very similar to your Fabric also. Fabric will also have a unified engine. That engine will be used for your Spark jobs.
Okay, so services should be on start state, correct? In this case also.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And one more question. So in Synapse Analytics, also we have a couple of services in built-in. Means one workspace we can get multiple things like ADF we can get it, data flows we can get it, and even we can connect to the data lake and Azure SQL, all this stuff. So what exactly the difference we are getting in Fabric? I don't see any differences, little differences, because one lake only I can see it here, but apart from that, I'm not seeing much
See,
difference.
Synapses is equivalent to Fabric. Like what we can do in Synapses, like there also it is involved. All the storages, processing, everything is involved. But pricing wise, when you compare, it's a license based. Fabric is a license based. There, it's a resource based. I don't know if you have used the Synapses. The costliest service that you can have is Synapses. Every hour the billing happens. Depending on the services, Spark jobs you use, depending on the SQL code, and it comes with a dedicated server and the serverless server. All it is included, right? So it's like a mall. Okay, it's a supermarket or it's like a mall. So rather than buying from small shops, you go and directly buy in the mall. Mall is costly. So that is what is happening in Synapses. Synapses, all the services are integrated before even you want. They have integrated and they have been given to you, and that is why it is costly.
Okay, and one more thing, the last question from my side. In Synapse, we have Synapse SQL and serverless SQL, but whereas in the Fabric, we have SQL. So that is what is equivalent to the, which is
No,
equivalent to
they have serverless also. They are
the.
like upgrading, but it's not in place. But we have serverless also.
Okay, means whatever is present in the Synapse Analytics, both services we are here, correct? Correct.
Yes, yes. Maybe not completely in a workable state, but at least in the preview state, you will have it.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Santosh. One question is.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the insight on reports in the Fabric, and I want to share with the clients. Is it necessary to have the Fabric account from client side as well?
No, just a simple account organization should be enough. But in order to access it, in order to act on it, it's like normal only. Power BI service is there, right? Viewer access, member access, contributor access, admin access. That and all remains same, right?
Okay.
So your Power BI is still the same. Okay, if you go to Power BI service, if you want to give to access minimum, they should have a pro account. Everything is same. Only difference is now they are trying to add more features into that fabric. So don't try to separate Power BI. Power BI is already there with all the services, access, licensing, everything is same. Only thing is they have launched a new environment and platform which is Fabric.
Okay,
so to answer your question, pro access is minimum required for the clients, and in order to access a workspace, they need a workspace access like member, contributor, and member, contributor. One more is the admin. Those access you can give it.
And can you give the access actually the Viva right access from the from client if you want? Can we
Yeah,
do
we
that
can
as
do
well?
that. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Santosh, this fabric is comes under PaaS or SaaS. I heard that SaaS. Is that
Yeah, it
correct?
is a SaaS. Yes.
Hi, Santosh, Abhishek here. I have two questions. First is yesterday I had asked you a question. You said you can ask me today, related to I said how do you integrate this with SAP Analytics Cloud? So do you think this fabric is will be very helpful with integrating with softwares like SAP?
Okay. See, I'll show you. This is the what I am showing you is Azure. Okay, what I'm showing is Azure. So I'll go here. I want to create a new data set. Here I can get the data from different storages, different source. I can get it from HBase. I can get it from Informatica. I can maybe get it from different tools, right? So here I'll go and get it from SAP. So SAP, if you see SAP BW or SAP HANA, SAP table, all these are the source you can get the data to your ADF. So this is ADF. If I want to copy the data, I can set the source. I can set the source here and I can push it to target. This is what I am showing with respect to our Azure. Now, if I want to do in Fabric, so imagine this is a copy activity. Okay, I want to add a source here. So let's see what are the supporting sources here. If I go and click this is the sources that where I can get the data from. Correct. And where I can get it from SQL Server, Dataverse, SharePoint, right? And you just go and click view more. And this is the where you can get the data. Now we will see whether these are the supportable as of today. So let's see whether you can get the data from SAP.
Yeah, it's there. It's there. SAP HANA, I think.
Yeah, only one option is there. So SAP database, you can connect it. So to answer a question, what you can do it in Azure, maybe Azure has lot of sources that you can get the data, but here you can get only the maybe SAP HANA database it is there. But if you go here, SAP OpenUp, MDX, CDC, ECC, all this you can get the data where along with the SAP HANA. So you can see how they have try to replicate the same thing here, and you can start using Fabric. If it is a database, start using the Fabric.
Yeah, and one more question. My last question is like, let's say I'm like interested into the data analytics side. I'm good with Power BI and I've been certified by Power BI. Do you think like having a Fabric, something like certification in Fabric, does Microsoft have any certification in Fabric? And if yes, do you need it, or do you think the project should be enough to go with it?
See, one thing I'll tell you, Fabric is not only for data analytics. Fabric is for everyone, right? It is for data engineering, it is for data science. So if you go and say that I'm a certified Fabric person, they'll expect some data engineering also with you, because Fabric will have all in one, right? So knowledge wise, you need to have a very good knowledge on analytics, where you're simply going and using the platform. So Fabric is applicable for all three: data scientists, data engineers, and data analysts. If you say that I'm Fabric certified, they may expect more from you in terms of engineering, in terms of pipelines, in terms of data flows, everything they may expect from you.
4 மணிக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியல
Please be on
மழை
mute.
விட்டா இருக்கும்.
Please be on mute. Is that clear?
Okay. Okay. So like there's also one more thing like that says like I was going to the LinkedIn and its trend is like people say it's must to have Azure Data Factory and Azure Databricks, even if you're a data analyst. Like Louis, if you are that, it's very much in trend that you should know Azure Data Factory and Databricks. Do you think it's true?
Data factory, I've told you in previous class as well, it is the important service for everyone, data factory. But data bricks, it is mainly used by data engineers. Nowadays, you know how what companies are doing, right? Everyone wants that all-in-one person. So they are expecting, but it's not mandatory. Databricks is not a mandatory for data analytics. At least data engineers will help you, right? But data factory is must actually. If you
So
don't
do you
have a
have a
data,
certification for that? Like, is there any like way of getting to learn that? I mean, apart from anything, is there any certified something that you can get hands on it?
only for data factory.
Yeah, data factory.
No, only data factory. We don't have any certification. You have to
Okay.
take a complete course. No, we cannot take only ADF. ADF
Okay.
comes with the data analytics where you can go with the data engineering or data analytics, but separately you cannot take ADF.
Okay. Thank you so much, Santosh.
Hello, Santosh.
Yes.
So for
So
example, I
Ganesh,
have a I
Go
have
ahead. Go
one
ahead.
data.
I need some guidance from you. Like I have 15 years of experience, and I'm in this business analysis, and I'm making Power BI dashboards and all. So, what will be the right path in terms of learning to me, and so I can get this data engineering skill. So, can you help me in this?
So you're 15 years of experience and you want to know what are the right skills that you need to know at this point of time, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so see, for 10 years of experience, I myself am designing the architecture, I'm designing the plans for my projects. So at your stage, they'll expect you to lead the team, and they'll also expect you to have the complete service knowledge, like Azure, what you can use, Fabric, what you can use. So you can opt for a data engineering course where you will be learning the architecture, what services I can use, and how to build a project. All of this, you'll also be learning PySpark, which is very important for transformations. You may not be writing the code at 15 years of experience. At least you should be in a position to guide them, guide the juniors, which is effective code, which code we can use. So at this stage, we expect you to know architect level where you can lead the team. So Azure
But
services along with Fabric should give you a good ground for getting started.
But I don't have that kind of experience in terms of IT because normally I'm working in this manufacturing organization since last 15 years, building material now in chemicals. So the IT part, they are not giving us the exposure. We are like business users making the dashboards for business. So getting into this part of like IT part, so how are the
See,
possibilities?
already you're
Because
doing reporting, right? Already you're doing
yeah.
dashboards, right? Where are you getting data from? You're getting from someone. How the data is
Yes.
been cleaned. That is what is a data engineer, right? That is what a data engineer. But as and then you're having that experience growing, expectations also will be more. You're already doing a reporting. You're already doing a dashboard. Then you're already a data analyst. Even though you're working for a manufacturer or HR, whatever it is, you're already doing analysis. You're already doing a dashboard. So you yourself can portray that you're a data analyst now. And now you can
Yes.
scale up on cloud services. You can become a cloud engineer, or you can become a data engineer with the architect knowledge, or maybe you can go as a team leader.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next.
Hi, hi,
Santosh.
Santosh. Hi.
Santosh, 1 minute, please. So for example, I have one data set 1 GB. I store in one lake, right, in Fabric.
Hmm.
So after doing some data factory activity, again we are going to store in one lake, right?
Yes.
So for example, first file is a 1 GB, second file is also 1 GB. It become 2 GB, right?
Let it be unlimited data you have, right? That is what is Fabric known for. How much ever
But
data
it
you
become
want, you store it.
again same as Azure. It became again performance will come or not?
See, backend is Azure only. What you are using in Fabric, the backend, the data is still storing the data lake only. But comparatively, what you do in Azure as a different services and different subscriptions and the payments has been standardized here. So here, even though if you store 2 GB or 3 GB, it becomes a 3 files. Of course, it is still an Azure only. It is still Azure, but it is unified Azure, I can say. Wherever you store for 3 GB, you have to pay for 3 GB, right? Whether if you store in Snowflake, you go with AWS, or you go in Fabric, wherever you store, you have to pay for it. The purpose here is I'm making a separate services only for Fabric. Like Fabric, whatever the services I need for a data analytics, data engineering, I'm separating it. That's all.
You can say that is it's separate folder. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, you can put it into a separate folder. Yes.
Hi,
But that
Santosh.
separate folder is actually coming from your system only. Your system is your Azure. In your Azure only, you're creating a separate folder. Right? Backend is always Azure.
Is it a data duplication?
Not a
See,
data duplication.
actual life, it's it will be not in GB, TB, or more than that, right? And we are duplicating that data, like
See,
raw
I'll
data
tell you.
and clean data.
Okay, I'll tell you. You have a restaurant. You have a restaurant. In the restaurant, you have everything. You have a separate desserts, maybe starters, everything. You have another restaurant next to that. There also you're having a same desserts. Now this is duplication. This is duplication, right? Now what I'm doing, I'm trying to create one more copy here where I will not store the data in Azure. Instead, I will store it in Fabric. So now it is not duplication. I'm removed one place and I've stored in one other place. If you store both the places data, it's a duplication. Same 1 terabyte of data I'm putting it in Fabric. The same 1 terabyte of data I'm already putting in Azure. It's a duplication. So what I don't want in Azure. I'm getting rid of Azure. From Azure, I'm moving into Fabric. Now the data is present only in Fabric. Now how it will become duplication? It is present in only one place, no? How it is duplication?
Yes, it is one place only. First copy is one place. After doing some modification, it becomes a second copy, right?
Oh, even if you do it in Azure also, it is two places, right? If you do it in one container, you do it again, you put it. It is also another same use case only, right?
That means
Then again,
actually
the performance will rise, I think.
See, wherever you do, if you want to create 3 layers, the 3 layers has to take some space. You do it in Azure, you do it in Fabric. Wherever you do, you have to need the 3 places. So for 3 places, you have to pay for it. It's not like, okay, in Azure, I will pay, in Fabric, I'll not pay. No, here also you need to pay, but minimum cost.
Minimum cost.
So in short, actually, the engine is same, but different body.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
So is there any cloning provision is there?
Yeah, now they are coming up with it. Okay, now they are coming up with it. This is the latest update that I've got is they're trying to come up with some clone where entire ADF or entire what you have in Azure, we can replicate that in the Fabric and we can get rid of Azure. It's coming up. It's happening. Maybe in next 2-3 months they may also release new updates.
Santosh, can you please explain again, don't mind, what is the copied activity, please?
What is that?
Copied activity. Copy activity.
Copy activity is to move the data from one source to another source. I have this data right now. I'll show you. Imagine this is a data now. Where is this data? This data is present in my database, right? This data is present in my database. Now this data, imagine that I want to move to cloud. Imagine I want to move to cloud. How will I move to the cloud? So I'll have to move to the cloud with the help of copy activity. That copy activity, I have to give what is the source, what is the source, and what is the destination. Destination and source, if I create a connection, and if I run this directly, the data will be moved from here to cloud. Tomorrow I'll be showing copy activity, will be using it.
Hi, Santosh. I have a question here. So related to this copy activity. Can you hear me? So where we create integration runtime in Azure Data Factory externally, right?
Yes.
So how about in Fabric? Is it a free build integration runtime or we need to
Yeah,
create
or
it separately?
Fabric as their own integration runtime. So we need not create anything. Directly it can take. By creating the connection, we should be able to get the data directly.
Because there is no integration and there is no link service concepts, right, in the Fabric?
No.
Okay.
Gateways are there, but there is nothing like link service and all. We can directly get it from our one lake if required.
Santosh,
Sure,
what
thank
is
you.
the difference between one lake,
Hi,
data lake, and
Santosh.
data warehouse?
See, data, the one lake is there. Okay, this is one lake. Okay, this is one lake. One lake is where it becomes a centralized data. Okay, it becomes a centralized data. On top of that, if you're organizing it, it will become a data lake. Okay, on top of that, if you have a asset properties, I think you would have gone across the asset properties, it becomes delta lake. So here is a main one. This is a main one. It's a foundation. And top of that, you can organize it. You can keep a structured data. You can keep in a different methods. It becomes a different layers.
I think data warehouse is one where we'll process and store the data, right? It's
Yeah.
not data.
Data warehouse. You asked about data warehouse?
I even asked for data warehouse after data lake, like one lake, data lake, and data warehouse.
See, data, one lake is everything, okay? You will have everything there. There you have two things. One, you can store it in the table format and you can query it. That becomes a warehouse. If I don't want to query it, simply I want to organize in the like a folder structures or like a put in a proper organized format, that becomes a data lake.
Okay.
One is just a storage. One is if you want to query it on top of a tables, you can query it. That becomes a data warehouse.
Okay.
Hi, Santosh.
Yes.
I wanted to know about the pipeline, how it is. So let's say we are working on the Uber, right? So we are getting data through the APIs, and
Okay.
that will store the data into the databases, right?
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
have the transactional data, that is OLTP.
Okay.
Then data will pull into this means whatever the Uber client will give that data on the data lake, right? And
Mm-hmm.
from that we will transform it into data warehouse by, let's say, we will aggregate that into weekly level.
Okay.
Okay. So now whatever you have shown, it is just CSV file, one SQL file. So we will get data mostly on the one leg, that is, let's say, last 1 month or last 1 year. So we'll have that as a development phase. And when we pull that data into production level production, so in that we will have the lots of means, let's say, last 3 years of data too, right? Is it my understanding right for this?
See, in this project, we are getting the data in this different formats. What if you get the data from the APIs? It's not a big deal. Go to your ADF. Okay, see here in the ADF, what you can do is, you can simply go and see if there is a data any support through APIs. Okay, and you can get the data from different APIs. Okay, or you can go with RESTful API service here. This is a web data, and you can get the data from RESTful API service. But the problem is you need to have that API license, like you need to have that credentials to access it. So what you will do, you'll get the data here directly. You will not process it. You have to store it somewhere. You have to store it somewhere first. You will store it in the three different storages are there, right? We discuss about this one. Data lake storage is there, SQL database is there. West you will store it. Even though you are using ADF to pull the data from RESTful API service by giving the proper link where I have to give the URL. So URL of that where website which you're asking, and what is the authentication method you will, and give the token ID, client ID, all this you have to give and get the data. You will store it in the storages. Then you will use it for processing. So that is what it is, right? But in this project, we don't have that Uber API data. That is why we assume that Uber has given us in the file formats and will be processing the file formats. Doesn't matter how they are giving the data. It all depends on how you process the data.
So Santosh, when we get the data from the API, so we will convert into third normal form, that is in databases, right?
Perfect. File format. Yes.
Yeah. So whatever the data we have 455, it is already in third normal form.
Correct.
And we will aggregate it at weekly, let's say weekly level. That is, we are doing the ETL process in data warehousing.
Hmm. Whether they want a driver level, customer level, or a date level, weekly level, monthly level, all of this you will do it in the transformation layer.
Okay. And while we are this is the development phase, we want to it in the production level. How we will do that from
No,
the
no. From
development?
here, from development to production, there will be CI/CD, right? So with the help of CI/CD, they will move whatever the pipelines is there, right? I think this is the correct.
See, you are getting the data from your APIs. Okay, that data you are processing, the same what you have done the transformations, right? Since you are getting from API, The API means directly they will not give the API direct data. They'll give a sample data only. Finally, what they will do in the production, they will replace that with original API data, which is the same format that you will not have access. No one can even go and see the original APIs because it will go through a flow. As rightly said, there is a pipeline called CI/CD pipeline. So what happens in CI/CD pipeline? There will be a set of process. What data that you have been captured from the API could be dummy data. For that, you will do all the transformations, doing the data cleaning and all. But in the reality, what they'll do, they'll change the URL to the original actual URL. So that way, those people who are in the production, they'll be accessing the production URL. That is how it works.
So to going from the development to production, it is client will access that
production data.
Yeah, client will give the access of the all data from the API, and that will go directly into the production.
Perfect. Yes. Only URL, right? They'll change to production. In the production, they'll change to actual API.
Okay. So do we have such a project from?
See, the problem is APIs are not that easy to get because you have to have a API keys, API credentials, authentication, everything happens. If I simply go and say that I need a Uber API data, they'll ask why. I have to give a justification. I have to give them the document. I have to tell them that I have to do this project. It's not that easy to get API data. And that is why we have assumed that we have.
Let's say from the ADLS. So in ADLS also, let's say they were adding up the data on weekly basis. So from that,
that is what we are deciding here, right? We already have the data, and the specific reason why I pulled in the JSON format is the JSON format is what you will always get it in the API data, and that is a one particular reason I wantedly taken JSON. API data mostly, if you pull it, it will be in the JSON format.
Okay.
And this we have already assumed that we have pulled it from API and we already have thought this is data. So today I showed an Excel file and CSV file explanation, but tomorrow we will process this only.
Okay, let's have it tomorrow. If I didn't understand, I will ask again.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Santosh.
Yep. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm new to this data engineering concepts. Actually, I'm from RPA background. Is it okay for me to learn only Fabric, or do I need to learn Azure data engineering?
See, again, I'm saying Fabric is all three. Okay, it is use a platform which is used by all three. In that, what services you need, you have to learn. If you're looking for a data analytics, in that data analytics, maybe specifically you have to focus on OneLake. You have to specifically focus on a data factory. You have to focus on Delta. There are certain things. If you're going on the engineering side, maybe you have to learn more of Databricks, Python, PySpark. All of these are there. So it's just a platform. So before getting into the Fabric, I would request you to learn the ground one. What is the ground? If you want to go for a data engineering, learn Azure or learn AWS. Or if you want to go with analytics, learn Power BI. So let's first learn the ground. Then you go and implement that in the Fabric.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hello, Santosh.
Yeah.
At my workplace, I heard from the other team.
They like, can we get a job?
1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah, go. Please go ahead. Parimala, right?
Yes, Santosh.
Yeah.
Pramila.
Go ahead. Yeah.
At my workplace, I heard from the other teams. They moved the reports to Fabric. What it means, Santosh?
They moved the report to Fabric.
Power BI reports too.
Maybe what they have done is first the data is coming from different sources, right? They have moved the data to OneLake, and from OneLake they're directly doing the report in Power BI. So overall, they are saying the complete report is in Fabric now. Since source, report, everything is in Fabric, they're calling it as report is moved to Fabric.
Okay, we have used Cosmos DB actually for the source of the report. So is that relevant to Cosmos DB is also available in the Fabric?
Yeah,
or they store the files
it's
in
there.
the...
Cosmos DB is there. It's a NoSQL database.
Okay, so usually we are publishing the reports in the workspace, so they used to publish in Fabric. Is that my understanding correct?
Yes.
Okay, Santosh. Thank you.
Hey Santosh, one last question. Yesterday while we were actually discussing, you said why we are moving to Fabric because Synapse is actually they're charging more, right? So when they actually in one of the image which you showed today, we also have Synapse. So will it I mean, if for example, for people who are actually using Synapse, if they migrate to Fabric with the same environment, does again the pricing still remains high for Synapse, and also
Here
on top
what
of
they
that.
have done is they have their own. They're trying to come up with their own engine, right? So there, they
Mhm.
you know you're using a Spark or maybe as what do you call like PySpark jobs you're writing. Here
Mhm.
you're having a separate dedicated engine. So cost wise, you're paying a license based. There it is a resource based. So comparatively, it is less.
Okay, even though I use the same thing, here when I move to Fabric, it will be comparatively less. Is that
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Hi, Santosh and Hima. This is
So
regarding
if I
the
learn
initial
only
loads and
Fabric
incremental
and
loads in
make it to the
Fabric.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, someone is talking.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how initial loads and incremental loads in works in Fabric?
Sorry, your voice
Installation
is
of
very low.
pipeline.
I'm finding it difficult to understand. What is it?
Just a moment.
You can speak loud.
Yeah, can you speak a bit louder?
Sir, if we learn only Fabric, can we get a job, sir?
Again, I'm saying the same thing. Fabric is not a subject to learn. It's a platform. So if you're saying fabric, you will have to go with data engineering, data science, data analytics. You have to learn all three only to master fabric. So fabric is just a platform. So first you choose whether you want to become a data scientist, whether you want to become a data analyst, or you want to become a data engineer. First you need to choose that. That way you can ask, okay, can I go with data analytics with fabric, or can I go with data engineering with fabric? That should be the right question. If you say fabric is everything. You can do everything there. So you cannot say fabric, can I, if I learn a fabric, will I get a job? What is there in fabric? Whether you're going to focus on engineering side or you're going to focus on analytical side, that you need to tell, right? So first you need to figure out the ground where you're good at. Are you interested in coding? Are you interested in non-coding? Or are you interested in data science? We need to figure out that. Then we will go and implement in cloud. And then we will go directly dump into fabric. That is how it is.
So like already I'm working on Power Platform. I have already enrolled in this course. So combination of Fabric and Power Platform, does it help or like does
No. Power Platform is different. Fabric is different. Fabric is uh, like in Power Platform, what you're doing, it's again a Microsoft products. There you're focusing on app development, chatbots you're building, and web applications. The screens you're building, apps you're building, automate you're doing, right? So that one is different from quite what we are doing here. We are mainly focusing on solutions. Like I can build a data science, data analytics project. It is two different side, I would say.
So without like non-coding, like a combination of data factory plus Fabric would help, sir.
Without coding means I would say that you have to learn Power BI, ADF also, it's not that of coding, but at least you have to write some expressions. Like what you used to write a DAX in Power BI, you have to write some expressions in ADF.
Santosh, like I have one doubt. We have like two domains in our organizations, and we are trying to migrate all our on-premises from one domain to another domain.
Okay.
So what happens is like we have removed all the servers and we have chosen the storage as one like in Fabric, but we have an application back on D365, so that is still in other domain only. So if we want to pull or push data from that domain to another domain, so is there any direct option available in Fabric now?
Direct? Sorry, it's not clear actually.
Let's say like we have an application, Santosh, in the backend D365.
Okay.
So from that is in like a different domain, and our Fabric warehouses and all in different domain.
Different domain is what? Is it a two different line of business? Like one is sales, one is marketing. What do you mean by domain?
For example, KSR Consultant Services.com, right? So another one we have like KSR Consultant services.co.com.
Okay.
So like that, yeah.
So you're saying they're going to migrate both.
No, I mean to say, for example, so we are,
So
all the
they are
sales are
changing the
recording in the
domain,
POS
user
machine, right?
domains,
So this
not
data.
the.
No, you have two domains. You're saying means you are saying like let's say KSR Datavision is one domain, KSR Consulting Services two domains. So two domains means you can add it. You can add a tenant. It's basically adding a tenant, and you can add multiple tenants, and you can also share the data between multiple tenants. Possibility is there. Yeah, we can have a child company, right? Imagine KSR is the main company and the sub company is a KSR Datavision. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Like, is there a direct option available in the Fabric? To create a pipelines and all.
Not a direct option. You have to have a little bit of workaround to move the data between tenants. It's not as straightforward.
Okay.
For them, for now, the only support is within one tenant, you can do whatever you want. But when it comes to multiple tenants, there is a bit challenge.
Okay.
Hi, Santosh. Sayed here.
Yeah.
It's a quick question. Fabric is a subset of Azure, right? So, which is using about 7-8 services from Azure. So, if you need additional service from Azure, like if you want to add on one more service, so is it customizable?
Customizable in the sense already it is customized. Maybe in which whatever you want, you can use it, right? And I would say that in terms of your need, you will adjust accordingly. Like just like I need this type of services within that one lake, within that data factory, what you do, whatever transformations you want.
So if we add one more service for, let's say, there are suppose 7-8 services right now. If you want to add one more service, so we have to pay
As of now, you don't have, right? What they have given, you have to use. So you cannot ask them, I want to build a mobile application. Can you build a mobile service here? They have to decide, right?
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah, before answering the next few questions, Mahesh will share the screen and show you how to enroll. So Mahesh, I think you're on mute as well.
Yes. Guys, I hope you are able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So you just go to Google and search for KSR Datavision, guys. Okay, you can get our website. So after completing all the 3 days lectures, like I'm just requesting you to write in a review here also. Okay. So now we can go with our website. So click on sign in. If you never ever started an account here, just go to sign up. If you're the first time, you can click on here, you can give your email ID and then you will get an OTP for your email ID. Example, Mahesh. Okay, it will trigger an email OTP and you can just create an account here. So as I do have some email already, like I have sign up. So I'm just log in here. So it will be route to my website, like on my account. You can click on explore courses under free sessions. You can see the course name called Free Live Microsoft Fabric Bootcamp. Okay. Click on it. So frequently these kind of sessions we are conducting, guys, like sometimes LinkedIn profile, Azure methodology, all these kind of sessions we are conducting frequently. Maybe you can follow our LinkedIn, you will get a regular updates. As I already enrolled, it's showing like an access course. Okay, here I will kept tomorrow data sets and everything, but now we will see the class records. Here you can see the class records. This is yesterday's session and today's session is going on now. And tomorrow's session also you will get here another button like a join now. Or else anyway we will share the links also. You can join either one. And once this session is completed, mostly by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, we will update with the record lecture here itself. Similar way, view recording. Right? You can see all the class, yesterday's class here. Okay. Any questions here? Under the data sets which is required to practice and everything, we will update here. Right? Let me know if you guys have any other questions or concerns.
Hi, Santosh. Actually, I have a
Yeah.
question that tomorrow we will do the project hands-on.
Yes. Yes. Tomorrow we're.
Yes, and I have seen lots of data engineering job description. Here, 3 or 4 things are common. That is the
Mm-hmm.
ETL pipeline or CI/CD ETL pipeline,
Okay.
or big data warehousing, and any of the cloud platform, that is AWS, Azure, or GCP.
Okay. Okay.
Next day we will learn or implementation the CI/CD ETL pipeline
See, CI/CD.
during the
First of all,
project.
building the entire project itself is not possible in the next 3 or 4 hours, right? So what we are going to give is an overview. We have already
Okay.
discussed about the data. We have already seen. So we will be focusing on data engineer pipelines and reporting only. For CI/CD pipelines, we will have another workshop where we'll focus on how to productionize this. CI/CD involves in productionizing this. So at this point of time, as part of this scope, we will be focusing only till reporting. So this project, what we have discussed about the Uber and Uber datasets, we have till the reporting. And after that, we will meet somewhere in the next workshop to discuss about the deployments. CI/CD pipelines will not be part of this one.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. See, for more details and more workshops, Mahesh is sharing you the link, the LinkedIn link, the Instagram link of KSR. So try to scan through us and be followers. So you will get to know more updates. We will be having all of these workshops very frequently, right? We will be having like every month we are planning to have workshops. So please scan here, follow our team, follow KSR in all the 3 channels. You will definitely get more over informations. Our team is there. Our team will be keep on giving you some content there, interview questions, how you need to crack up, some motivations, some inspiring stories. All of this you'll get it. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe our channel. We'll be uploading a lot of videos there. And LinkedIn is where we are like focusing more on the articles, blogs, and information. That imagine the next 1 month we are going to start another workshop on engineering, data engineering. The same what we are focused, we'll be doing an end-to-end project of data engineering. So in that case, we will be explaining CI/CD pipelines. So all of this you'll get the information. For that, please scan through and follow us. Every information that what we share will definitely reach out to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, next questions, please. Sorry. Any more questions?
Santosh, if you take the course, like we'll be having the live access for 1 year, right? Or like
you take any course in KSR, you will have 1 year access.
okay.
The reason why I'm telling you 1 year access is what I teach today may not be valid after 2-3 months because of the updates. So every 1 year we refine and we change the syllabus. We keep updating. See, I told you right, last November I had taken the same workshop on Power BI. I didn't even know there was a Fabric, but now we are talking about Fabric. Next year we don't know what will happen, right? So we keep updating our syllabus according to the market trends and changes, and that's what we do. And in terms of license and in terms of the access to our videos, you'll be allowed to access for 1 year. Even after 1 year, our team will give you. Yeah.
Only for the recording videos, one year will be having access, or like 1 year for the live. For example, like if I take the course, I just attend that particular course for the particular duration of time. So after that, after few months, like if same course they conducted with a different faculty, so if I would like to attend that as well, like within the year, would they going to allow us to attend with the
No.
different faculty?
See, this year January, if you have joined a batch with a specific trainer, it will be valid for next year January. Till next year January, you can access it. If you want to opt for another trainer, obviously you have to buy it again, right? It's a different trainer. So different trainer, different subject or different topics, you have to again subscribe, right?
One small clarification, Nagaraj. You are expecting like a same course or different course?
Same course only, like same
Yeah,
course with
same
a
course. Yes, you can. Example, it's as it is topics. Example, now Santosh is handling data engineering, Power BI also. Example, I'm saying. So same
correct.
course is with another trainer we started in KSR in the sense. Yeah, obviously you can access, but we need a valid reason. You didn't complete that course, and we will see the percentage. Example, you completed a 80% course, and still I want to rejoin in the sense we can't accept, because some people are misusing by sharing with their friends and all, honestly. So at that time I can't allow you, but unfortunately you paid the fees and joined the course, but within a month due to some personal issues or reasons you are not able to continue. At that time, yes, you can inform us, Mahesh, I'm not able to continue this batch and the next batch I want to. Even though next batch with a different trainer, we will accept. But
Okay,
again, we will see the ratio, like how much classes. It's depends on the, we will check the entire details, how many sessions you completed, your percentage attendance of the classes. If you completed all the classes and completed good percentage of the class completion, but still you are expecting to rejoin, yes, it's not possible. Even though if it's the same trainer also. Our ultimate goal will be our trainer should learn completely and to get a job as early as possible.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Mahesh, so when is the
Yes.
upcoming batch for the Azure data engineering? And
Yeah, Azure Data Engineering, we are planning in January 2nd. It's handling by completely Santosh. And data analytics with the Fabric, we are planning to start by December mid. Mostly it's by Ritesh only. And data science and generative AI, again, Azure AI also going to be part. That batch also going to be start by December 16th. So good thing is all these courses going to be handled minimum 10% content by Santosh, which is Azure and AI and Fabric related concepts. Example, you are going to be handled, join the session for data analytics and Power BI. So 90% classes covered by Ritesh, but 10% are like some these kind of Fabric sessions and some domain knowledge sessions will cover by Santosh. So we will believe like who are expert in particular domain, particular technology, we will try to push them. Sometimes even domain knowledge also. Example, Santosh is expert more into the banking sector. So banking project, I will try to push Santosh to handle the session. Similar way, Ritesh is expert in retail. So I will ask Ritesh to take one retail project so that they can able to explain more real-time scenarios and case studies.
right. And how do you support on after course for a job finding? How do you support?
Yeah, from resume preparation to helping you to get the calls and all, completely is our responsibility. It's not about help and all. So each resume should be unique. Actually, we will prepare resume. We have a sub couple of mentors who can able to help you to make resume. So they will check with one-on-one with you, your previous background, your capabilities, and your learning things. And depends on that, they will make a resume. We will believe each two resumes should be unique. Example, now still 176 people are there. If you made a resume of data analyst out of 176 people, most of the cases they will just give sample resumes and it will be duplicated. But we will make ensure all these 175 resumes should be unique.
And is there any limitation on the device login?
Yeah,
Or
device
it's only...
login for sure it's a limitation, only one mobile and one laptop. So example, you are using your laptop, personal laptop, obviously it will be access. And when you are outside or you are at office, you don't have your laptop, at that time you can use your mobile app. And good thing is we are planning to launch even our website app application also very soon. Mostly by January we will release. Now it's working on it actually, but only for live classes it's working. We are testing that one. Mostly by January we will make a web application also ready.
Mahesh, regarding the device, I'm talking in the worst case scenario, saying that I'm using that office laptop. So if I take the course, I'll be using that office laptop
Yeah,
only.
I will
In
tell you,
case,
Navin. I will tell you,
yeah,
I got it. We can reset and we can help you. But scenario is when you are trying to use your office laptop, when you want to download data set, when you want to practice, your office laptops won't work better. Sometimes it may cause some errors and some companies will take as a serious also. Like if you try to download data sets to office laptops. But if you want to use, yes, you can use your office laptop also. That's fine.
yeah.
But
While using, unfortunately, if something went wrong to the laptop, so we may change the
you can
laptop, right?
simply text
In
that
that
you can.
scenario,
It's a 2 minutes task, Navin. Just write an email to support@datavision.com. Team, I am just having this issue. It's not allowing more than 2 devices, but now old laptop have some issue. Now I want to change a new device. Hardly they will reply you within 30 minutes, maximum 30 minutes.
they'll allow, right? In that
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah, yeah, we will
Okay,
allow.
thanks.
Hey, in case of data engineering or any Spark-based course, do you provide cluster?
Sorry?
Cluster we have to create, right? We have to create our own cluster, and the cluster will be creating on your subscription.
Okay, based on subscription, then it will be charged
Right.
then. I mean, apart from other.
But we will help you to create a free account that 16,000 credits what they are giving, right? Based on that, we will be using. So we'll make sure that we will not, you will not be charged. The way we will plan it, you will have a couple of cards and we'll finish it off our projects within that subscription price.
Okay, thanks.
Nothing, like it's our intention will be to make a maximum real-time scenarios. So learning and getting a job is very easy from my point of view, and sustainability is a we need to be take care, because mostly either data analytics or engineering, you will get a better pay. When companies are paying you more, they will expect more from you. So sustainability, our ultimate goal will be getting in a job easy, and the sustainability you have to be take care. So that's the reason we are giving even these licenses, credentials, and all these things, and we are planning to focus more into these credentials and all to practice all real-time case studies and scenarios. Right?
Correct, Mahesh.
Yeah.
Hi, Santosh. My question is for Santosh. Actually,
Yes. Yes.
I'm
You can.
working as a Power BI developer right now. Building a dashboard in Power BI using multiple data sources like SharePoint, SQL, and Excel, basically. So, can I get an differentiate between this Microsoft Power BI with Fabric and Azure Data Engineering, like which would be better for me at
See,
this
you
stage?
already have a good experience working with Power BI. You already have a good experience working with Microsoft product. What you are doing currently, you can directly do it in Fabric. So I don't think it's
Hmm.
another additional skill that you have to learn. At this point of time, when you're already good with reporting, focus on engineering side. So when you focus on engineering side, you will learn Databricks, you will learn Azure Data Factory, so that whatever we have in Fabric, everything would have done it in the ground itself. Right, you would have done outside the fabric only. You would have done it in Azure, you would have done it in other clouds. So then you can try to connect the dots, directly go and do it in the fabric. So I'm repeating this in the last 2 days. Fabric is actually not another technology, it's a platform. It's just like what you learn skills, you're just going and doing it in another house. That's it. What you're learning here, if you've learned Power BI, you're doing Power BI in Fabric. If you learn data engineering, you're going to do data engineering in Fabric. So Fabric, don't consider that as is my career or it's going to be change my career. No, it's a platform. What you do as a data engineer, data scientist, or a data analyst, all three people will go and work together in the Fabric. So for you, if I want to give a suggestion, I would definitely give a data engineering as a suggestion, because you already know Power BI. So what you know Power BI, you can directly do it in Fabric now. It's not a big deal. But what you want to learn additional is data engineering skills.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
What is the cost for this data engineering course?
Mahesh, Mahesh, you're there?
I'm here. It's a 30,000, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. And around 4.5 months will be the duration.
And license validity is for 1 year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And with job support also.
Job support in the sense, what kind of things you are expecting, sir?
Well,
Like as I
helping.
told you initially, like making resume and helping you to get the calls and opportunities. It's a we will take care, and also frequently we will conduct a session on placement cell, who are not getting calls, right? Who are not able to even crack into. They are getting calls, but they are not able to crack. Right. So we will guide you like where you are lacking. Nowadays, LinkedIn is performing very effective role to get a more opportunities. So we will guide you to be active in LinkedIn and how to get other opportunities from Naukri. If you are in a US or Canada and some other website like a Dicey, and also we do have some official tie-ups with the US, Canada, and Mexico consultancies. We will try to help you to get opportunities from there as well, and it depends on their visa status again.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thanks.
And how about the mock interviews, Mahesh?
Mock interview, that good story is why we are giving this course is completely for free is the reason. We developed our own product for mock interview. It's everything is done. We are still testing for some new phases. So in that application, right, multiple times you can take a mock interview. It's by AI. AI will ask questions virtually, and it will take the inputs and it will give the feedback to you. And still you are not comfortable, you need to more want to explore, you can hire a people to do mock interview.
Okay, so like how we can hire the people? Like, is it in our internal peoples in KSR or like?
KSR people only, like front face, maybe myself and Santosh only we were able to know, but we have a couple of other people, Funny, Koti. So there are AI experts and they build this product actually. So this query I faced actually around a year back, 1.5 years back. A lot many people are asking about mock interview, and I'm not able to serve all the people. During our internal discussion, we discussed about is it possible to make a good tool? It's not only testing point of view, it should be video interview. And now it's a step by step we are developing that one, and now it second version can able to give it to the companies, and companies can use in a better way to reduce these kind of misusing the video interviews. It will be pretty easily can check it like who are using, and you are only speaking or else any lip sync kind of people are doing some frauds happening right during the interviews. The system will decide that one. And also it will be reduce the time for the companies. Example, here 150 people are there and there is only 10 openings. Companies can send the links to all the 150 people, and system will decide, like our AI tool will decide like how many people are got a more than 60% or more than 70%. Imagine 150 people taken this video interview, and the system will give the entire result. Out of 150 people, only 20 people got a more than 80%. So again, these 80%, 20 people also company not ready to take actual interview. Then the Santosh want to take the interview. Example, I'm saying. Right, sorry. So Santosh want to take that call,
Yes.
and he was not ready to take a 20 people's my interview, right? What he will do, already we have a video interview bites. Whenever Santosh is free, he will open his mobile and he can see the records of all the 20 people. Out of that, he can select 10 people. These 10 people can come to the actual interview. This is what we are developing in the second phase, mostly by 25 and this will be built. But first phase will be for mock entry for ourselves. Even we have some nervous, like when we want to take in a mock entry also, we will feel like if we are failed, how the people will think, right? So multiple attempts you can do with the system. AI will take interview and it will analyze your version. It will convert your voice to text. So the vocabulary also it will be checked. You can make it even better for every time.
So this will be launched in next year, sir? Or
Mostly the first version will be this year end only. Second version by 25 end. Second version for companies, organizations. First version for ourselves. Students can utilize this.
Okay. In the website itself, we have that.
Yeah, previously 2 months back, we made a trial run for 1 month. We open it and I checked all the scenarios where we are getting issues and all. Some of our students and some outside people also, they tried this one. We got all the data and we are developing more better now.
Okay.
Mahesh, do you have classroom trainings also, or it's only online training?
Classroom trainings as of now, no. Only one batch, that to data science and generative AI for freshers we are conducting. But 25 we are planning actually, Python developer, Java developer, and data science. These kind of courses who come freshers can be available, right? Working professional current situation, no one can come to office. Yeah, we are checking, right? We are seeing like they are not comfortable. And another thing is all our trainers are working professionals, including Santosh, Koti, Ritesh, Krishna. All these are working people. They can't come and sit in the office to take classes. But some courses, like particularly for freshers, we are planning.
Got it. Thank you.
Hi, Santosh. It was a wonderful session. Thanks for that. If someone wants to learn from Power BI and Fabric from scratch, is it possible? Like, is there?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
If someone wants to learn Power BI and Fabric from the scratch, so is it possible?
Why not? We are doing that one only, right? So we will consider people knows just A, B, C, D. That's all. From E onwards, I will take care. What is SQL? What is a Power BI? So did you hear about Power BI previously or not? So what Power BI people will do in real time? Then one by one. That's the reason our course duration itself 4.5 to 5 months. Maybe I'm not going to criticize anyone, but you can see in the outside, maximum they are finishing batches in 45 days.
Okay.
And even
Yeah.
some people are saying like a 2 hours Power BI expert.
Yes,
Right?
in 1 hour also, Mahesh. Somewhere
Yeah,
I
1
saw.
hour. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
not possible, sir. Shortcuts won't work here. So we have to do hard work. Maybe smart work works, but we have to learn everything, every concept from scratch to a higher level. Example here, paginated reports. Very few companies will use paginated reports, but we are covering even that too.
Nice.
And every time, like every batch, every month, when we are getting new updates, we will try to include those concept in our courses. So I can say every batch minimum have a 10% difference. Which is we started in January 24 and which is started in December 24, 10% difference should be there.
Okay.
Fabric is not there in January 24 batch actually. And the data engineering also, even October, not September batch we don't have. Which batch we started in October, we started a Fabric for Azure engineering people.
Yeah,
Yes,
hi,
Santosh.
Mahesh.
Yes, for us. Yeah, Naveen,
Ye-
you can ask.
Yeah. Actually, when like recently we are also hearing this Azure AI. So
Yes,
like,
yes.
is that the only option?
That is for
which-
data science people. Actually, we are also planning that one. We will take one workshop very shortly.
Okay. So that will be helpful for the data science people, not for DA and
Yeah,
data engineering.
mostly for the data science point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, Santosh.
Yeah,
This
hi.
is Upender. Actually, yeah, I have some experience. I mean, I have 8+ years of experience in SQL and SSIS. Actually, I got stuck in this traditional technologies, and I want to learn and switch to the cloud technologies. I'm thinking from last 2 years, and I'm spending some time with YouTube videos here and there. So I'm learning bits and pieces like some ADF and Python. I'm learning like those technologies, but unfortunately, I'm not getting any hands-on experience. So tomorrow, if I get any project on cloud, so I don't have sufficient experience. That is the problem. So let's assume like if I enroll any course in KSR, so how do you ensure that we get sufficient hands-on experience and confidence? So and
if I said
why
like
and second question, why KSR? I mean,
yeah, I will tell you.
Yes.
So Upendra, like when you are asking this question, obviously I will say we are the best. Right? So the reason then only you can join my courses, right? So don't trust even my words simply like for projects point of view. You can see there are a couple of videos in our YouTube channel also, which is happened for the previous batch. I just downloaded and I uploaded it to YouTube. You can take those as an example. And here, maybe any of your friends or something already will learn KSR courses. You can ask them. This is another second level. But here the course curriculum entirely, you can thoroughly check it and you can compare. So I'm not going to give you example like Lalita Jewelers, but still you can compare, you can check with the multiple organization and institution, their curriculum and what they are covering. And then you can choose the better course. But if you are saying, I will say 100% we are covering all the real-time scenarios, but don't trust my word simply. You can compare and then you can take a decision.
Okay.
See, one more thing I'll tell you is, first of all, I'm not a trainer. Okay, the last 2 days you have listened to me, right? I'm not at all a trainer. I'm a working profession. So what I do in the project, I'm doing it here. 7:55, Mahesh woke me up. 8 o'clock, I'm in the class. So I've never come anything prepared, right? I'm just cheating what I'm just what I've done in my past, what I'm done in the experience. I'm just showcasing, and it's not going to happen in 1 week or 10 days. We are going to have a 4.5 months course. Every single thing what I do in the organizations, I'm going to explain here. So sometimes we will struggle here, we will also get some error, we will troubleshoot it. It's not that we are going to just focus on the syllabus. We will be working on a project, we'll be working on a use case. Something goes wrong, even we'll work together. I'll ask you to research and we will solve it. You will come up with solutions, I'll come up with solutions. So that is where the collaboration comes into picture, right? We are not just focusing like a book where something is already written and we are focusing. No, we are known. And you asked me why KSR, right? Why KSR? Because in KSR all are working professions. We are all working from Monday to Friday. Before that we take a class, so we know what is happening in the market, we know which technology is in the boom, we try to interact with people. And I'm into a role where I'm actually a project manager, so I get the projects to my team, so I have to talk to my clients. So you would have seen the way I talk is obviously like the way I talk to my clients. It's not like I'm talking like a trainer here, right? I use my experience in getting the projects and implementing it. So that experience you will get it here. You can compare a lot of other training institutes and you can compare the teaching. Maybe the teaching would be best, right? I'm not saying that we are best, no, but you can see what and how they are covering. The examples we
Exactly.
give and the real scenarios is what is readed. See, there was no point for me to pick up the Uber data. I would have taken any data set, but why I'm relating, why I'm telling you that how service-based companies, product-based companies work, how the companies get the project and how it works. That is where you need to understand the structure and the focus on the project. So that is where we are good at.
So, and also personally, my intention will be to make maximum people who are interested in non-IT sector and want to move to IT. So even we will prefer more. Reason, even I came from the non-IT background, particularly into the biotechnology. I worked almost 3 years in the pharma sector. Later, I thought to move to IT, but initial days I got some struggles and some people saying even you won't get a job in IT. But some people encouraged me. Out of that, even Koti also. Later, I learnt some good courses and I joined in a data field as well. Then I meet all these people. After that, we started this.
Okay. Thank you.
That's nice. Mesh,
So
where you
Santosh,
can find that
one
course content? Like I just logged in that which through that
Which one? Azure Data Engineering?
full stack Power BI and
Yeah, I
Azure
will
Data.
ping you. Like you can check it and I will explore in our website. If still not able to find, ping me. I will share you. Yeah.
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 Santosh, this is
Hi,
Aditya here.
Santosh.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I have around 10 plus years of experience as a SQL database administrator and Azure admin as well. And now I'm working with RFPs in my current company, like transitions and proposals. So in
Okay.
a tech level, so I got recent project to migrate all the ETL like SSIS and other things to the Microsoft Fabric. As of now, we are exploring it. So
Okay.
in this case, which course will be beneficial for me? I know there are little deadlines are there like before next May, June or something like I don't want to talk about the deadlines and all, but which one will be suggestible for me? Like
So
if I want to work.
since it's a migration project and you're moving like especially from your on-prem to cloud, I would request you to go for data engineering. In the data
Mhm.
engineering, we'll be covering the migration, how it works, and we'll also be doing a couple of projects which is we will be doing in the real time. So that can give you some hands-on experience. So at this point of time, you're not doing any analysis, but you're doing a pipeline. So moving the
Yes.
data from on-prem. So for you, suggested courses will be like since and also it's a fabric, I would say Azure Data Engineering will be the right course for you.
Yeah, and there are few SSIS packages which are there in traditional way. They stored it from long back, like in the folders, and they are using from the local drives only, not SSIS catalog as well. They have. So I just need to work on that as well. Is it something which we can discuss or else like?
Yeah, specifically, we will not do from SSIS to cloud. In general, I'll be explaining how you can migrate the objects. And with respect to your project, we can give you some insights. It will not be covered as part of the class, but for your role, like what you need for that, we can have a one-on-one session and we can discuss this is approach and what you need to do. Those type of things we can help you. But as per syllabus, we have a standard way of migration, how the migration, because one person will ask SSIS, one person will ask Oracle, one person
Yeah,
will
yeah,
ask Sybase.
got
So we
it.
cannot do everything, right?
So
So in
Tableau Informatica,
generalized, we
there
will
are
have
so many. Yeah.
yeah. So in generalized, we will be explaining how we can migrate the objects. Depending on your need, if really required, we can have a weekend session, a 30 minutes or 1 hour session with you, and we can discuss. That support we will give you.
And one more quick thing, like I know this course and everything is there after till 1 year. So after 1 year, like how is there any alumni kind of thing, like whoever the KSR students are there, they are interacting and I mean I know you people are knowledgeable. So in future there are few things come up or challenges. So how is there any kind of that platform we have like apart from LinkedIn? LinkedIn
See,
is there, I know.
every single person who is in KSR, including me, are actually KSR students. I was
Mhm.
also a student of KSR once upon a time. So
Yeah.
with this, I got job, I got into good career, good technology, and now I'm teaching. So if you see all the mentors, all the people who are working in the backend, everyone is KSR employees. So you will get an meetups, like you will have, we have an office in Bangalore. So you can visit our office anytime. We can see our, like we can talk to us, we can discuss what is good for you, what in terms of career, which is the right path, everything we can suggest you. And in terms of alumni, as of now, most of the students are outside Bangalore. Like most of them, we are inside online, right? Even now, people are joining from South Africa, US, UK, and also may not be able to be in touch. And a lot of people, once they get the job, they don't inform us. That's where we are losing that alumni.
Yeah.
And people who are in touch with us, we're always touch with us, and we are all meeting very often. And that's the like high level of insights I can give you about this.
Got it, got it. And
Santosh,
one more thing, like as Mahesh mentioned, so there are few opportunities or tie-ups which we have in other countries, right? So what are all the chances? I'm not saying that the guaranteed one. So is there anyone who went there or else something like that?
We have people, but that's what I said, right? We will not be able to share the information, but we can show you an
So I can
example.
able to explain you guys. It's not about we are pushing people from here to like you. I'm not exporting any people from here
No,
to
no,
there.
no. I'm not
No,
asking
no,
about
wait, wait.
consultancy
Who are
services.
there
So
already in the
just yeah,
US? Like
yeah.
they came for a like OPT and done with the masters and H1B, and after H1B also they want to move to the some other another consultancy, right? Those kind of profiles I'm saying. And example like recently there is a guy called Harish. There is on his video also is there. He was long back my colleague as well, and after that he completed course here in 22. He got a job in CGI, and recently again he learnt Azure data and he moved to Dubai.
Yeah,
And for this
I'm with
process, I
CGI
never
right now.
helped him anywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Santosh, if
I'm
you can
not
talk
running
little bit.
consultancy for
No, no, no.
US
Just
to
for
I
US.
just,
offline classes?
I just asked like why because I mean, I'm doing my own research on PR and other stuff. It's
Yeah, yeah.
everything is
No, no, we
done.
are not into that
So
actually.
yeah, yeah. No, no. That consultancy services, even I am not asking it. I know I am there in 11 years of this service field, right? IT
Yeah.
industry. So I know how it works. So I'm
And
just asking like how we, if
and
anyone is there, if we go there.
another
Yeah.
true fact will be honestly, I won't encourage people now in this situation to move. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But we are starting our consultancy there mostly in 25. I will inform you those details also very shortly.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we
Sure.
have tie-ups with some others, but now we will start our own also in 25.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Any
Yeah,
other
hi
questions?
Santosh. Hi
Yeah.
Santosh. Yeah, this is Pavan. Actually, I have a question related to ADF. So, as we are discussing that ADF is like a ETL tool. So, for a data engineering role, if we can explore only ADF means it will fulfill the data engineering role.
Not exactly. If you are a data analyst, you will be doing a basic level of transformations where you'll be writing some expressions. Only ADF is enough. But if you're a data engineer, not all your purpose your ADF can fill. So you have to learn Databricks. So for Databricks, you will do more of transformations compared to your ADF. Your Databricks will do more transformations. For that, you need a PySpark and Python. So you have to learn another service. If you are a data engineer, you have to be a bit more strong in the transformation layer.
Okay, okay. So only the ADF won't be sufficient for the data engineering role, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, 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 fine. Yeah,
For
thank
data
you.
analyst, it is enough.
It is enough. Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Got it, got it. Yeah. Thank you, Santosh. Yeah.
Santosh, if you can talk a little bit about career opportunities, opportunities, and also if you can give a like comparison of other cloud technology. I'm talking specific to data engineering.
See, what I have experienced is every cloud will have their own different companies tied up, right? If you see Microsoft will have different clients. AWS is our topmost cloud service. They will have a different clients. So in terms of cloud, learning any one cloud, okay, what we are doing here is Azure Data Factory, right? If you go with the AWS, there we are using Glue. Only the service details are changing, only the service configurations are changing. But what you do here, ETL, everywhere you go, the same process. So learning one cloud, you can learn other clouds by yourself. It's that easy. It's that easy. So nowadays, what is happening, right? If I'm learning Azure, if I go to a company and the company immediately is switching on to AWS, you cannot say that no, I don't know AWS. I'm from Azure. I will do only Azure. They'll throw us out. Right? We are into a company where multi-skill is important, multi-cloud knowledge is important. But one thing I can promise you right away is learning one cloud, you can easily adopt to another cloud. What you learn in Azure, you can easily replicate that into AWS. A bit of 1 week of efforts of doing what is this, what is that, you will be able to crack it. So with respect to your career advice, one thing which will never fall down is if you're working for a data driven. When I say data driven, it could be a data analyst or a data scientist or data engineer. But the choice again has to depend on what level of need you need. If you are like want a very high package, if you want to write some Python code, PySpark code, go for data engineering, which is a very good career. Now, if you feel like, okay, I have to play comfort zone, I don't want to get into a lot of coding and all, maybe I have to do some analysis, I want to contribute something to the companies in terms of idea suggestions, data analyst. Or if you think towards a business side, where I have to increase the revenue, I have to contribute more towards the algorithms and pick it out as a statistics, you have to choose data science. So each one will be having certain pros and cons. Data engineering is the best, but it is difficult. I'm telling you now itself, it is difficult. But if you see data analytics, it is easy, but you will not get that of high package. So everything you have to compare. What is your need? See, I cannot go and suggest data engineering just because it is paying high. I need to see what is your interest. I need to see what you're good at. Maybe you're good at reporting, and I cannot just go and pull and put it in a data engineering, right? We need to see what you are good at. Career advice simply cannot be just like this is good, that is good. We have to understand your background. Understanding your background, what is your interest, then we will suggest you.
Okay. Thank you.
You can talk to a team, you can tell your background, what your background, where are you coming from, what's your college, what work you're doing. Based on that, our team will suggest.
Okay, sure.
Hi Santosh, this is Sai. Yeah. Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, Santosh. I'm having total 5 years of experience. First 2 years experience in SQL and another 3 years experience in Power BI. But Power BI, it is a supporting project. I don't have explored much more things. So can you suggest me which course is best for me?
So since you've already been Power BI, you already at least somewhat you worked in support project, right? So
Yes,
you already would have known what type of challenges they are getting in data. The data is not clean. You're getting a lot of issues in the data quality, right? You can opt for data engineering because 5 years is a good enough experience. You already spent 5 years in IT. You are not new, so you already know how IT companies works, how the clients works. So choose for a data engineering where you can learn some Python code and you can enhance it. Because again, if you jump into Power BI, you will not get a good package. So already knowing BI tools, if you go back and learn the foundation, that is data engineering, can give you a good opportunity. If you are a data engineer with the data analytics knowledge, you will always be better than 90% of the people who are already working in data driven. So I would suggest you to go for data engineering.
What about Fabric course, Santosh?
Fabric, again, it's not a course. Okay, you learn in whatever you learn in Azure, whatever you learn in data engineering, you simply go and shift it and put it into a Fabric. That's it. So there is nothing called course in Fabric.
Simply, sir, Azure data engineering with the Fabric. Okay, we are teaching that one too.
Yes, Azure data engineering Fabric, you can consider like that. What we do, we will try to replicate that in Fabric.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, are we all good? So your credentials along with the data set will be shared tomorrow. And the project we'll be completing. We have given the foundation. So tomorrow we will be having a hands-on implementation. So tomorrow it's going to be a bit lengthy session with a small break in between, and we'll meet tomorrow for the project. Thank you all, and your presence is required for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. So we will meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.